Welcome, one and all, to another live stream edition of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew, and Belle, you just made it in time, so well done.
I don't know what happened. Everything's went black, and then it said everything's unplugged. I'm like, fuck.
So, just for Dave and Jeff here, they didn't see, but Belle actually completely dropped out of the whole thing while the opening credits were rolling. So she just came back in like 2 seconds before we actually. So I was like, okay, here we go. So we're off and running. In case you can't tell, this is going to be a wild night. It's already gotten off to a flyer behind the scenes here. I'm Andrew. I'm joined tonight by Dave beside me on the screen. And then at the bottom of the screen, you got Belle and Jeff. As usual, folks, got a lot to get through. Get in the comments. Say hi if you're here. Because tonight we're going to do round 8 of 1990 versus 1992. This is Iron Maiden, No Prayer for the Dying versus the Black Crowes, the Southern Harmony, and the final choices for our Yngwie Malmsteen Build a Playlist, the Polydor Years collection. So we're going to talk a bit. We're going to choose songs from Eclipse and go over the results from Odyssey last week. Jeff is going to fill in the hole again for Conrad for the Who Am I album edition. So Jeff is, which is funny in this context because it's not even had in the rotation I set up. Jeff hasn't even had his turn yet. So I'm going to have to get my act together and do one for myself next week, and then we'll rotate through from there.
I love it.
I know, and I appreciate you jumping in, but it's like, fuck, man, I keep leaning on you a lot. But yeah, we've got a lot to get through as always. Make sure you hit the links in the description box for all the reference tracks we're talking about here tonight. It's a link for us, a link to our Patreon page as well. Any help you can give us there is greatly appreciated. Speaking on that, a special shout out to Jenny, who jumped into Patreon this week. So thank you so much for doing that. I love seeing you plug your own band in there as well, which is important. So I love Jenny from Riot, and it's a great fucking song too, just for the record, which hopefully we'll talk about next week, depending on how the votes go on things behind the scenes. But yeah, that's, like I said, a lot to get through as always. Say hi if you're here. Hit the description box for the links and comments in case you miss them in the chat as we go through tonight. But Roland's here as always. Good to see you as always. Nicole's here as well, saying evening all. Adrian's here, what's up? And a lot of comments from YouTube at the moment. The same with Michael. He's here saying good evening. If you're on Facebook, let me know you're here so I can see if other platforms are working as well. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun. Like I said, big shout out to Jenny for jumping into Patreon. And I'm going to do a quick gig plug here as well, because it's this weekend, actually. This weekend, May 3rd and 4th, it's the X Music Showcase at Workers Club in Fitzroy on May the 3rd, Scotty's Garage in Seaford on May the 4th. Sister Soul, Excalibur, Cicadastone, and Audio Rain are all playing, so keep an eye out.
It's a cool fucking lineup.
It is a great lineup, a diverse lineup, an interesting one. Still working on interviews behind the scenes that we filmed. You would have seen them on TV. It's got to get the full release done and dusted. Audio Rain's pretty much that far away from being done. Cicada's going to be a little bit trickier because we had some lag issues. I've got to chop some things into it. But yeah, those interviews are coming. But get to the gigs this weekend, May 3rd and 4th. It's an X Music Showcase at Workers Club Fitzroy on May the 3rd. Scotty's Garage, Seaford, May the 4th. Sister Soul, Excalibur, Cicadastone, and Audio Rain are the bands for your enjoyment. They're all cracking bands, so get around it and enjoy a good night out. Dave, do you still think you might make it to the Seaford one, or?
Yeah, very probably.
Cool.
So we'll see. And might go with Jade's teacher from last year.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Yeah. So we've been looking forward to go to the game. We just got a message and make sure that he's going. So
nice.
that'd be cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let you know. And if you do go, feel free to do a gig review if you want to, man.
Yeah. Oh, fuck it. I'll see if I can get interviews and shit. You know what I mean?
I'll do that too, man. I'm happy with that. Joel is here on Facebook saying hi, everyone. Good to see you. So I do know the other platforms.
Hey, Joel.
Thank you for that. But that's the preamble. Make sure you check us out on television as well. 10:30 p.m. tonight, Thursday, on Channel 44 in Adelaide local time. 10:30 p.m. Saturday night, Channel 39 in Melbourne local time as well. But now let's do the highlights of the week. Let's do the round. So, Dave, what was your highlight of the week before we got to here?
It's been a quiet week, but obviously, the announcement that Nightwish, new album, new single, dates. Knew it was coming this year, but now we finally know when.
Yeah.
Single is on the 21st. Album is on September the 20th.
Yeah.
As luck would have it, my son's birthday is also on the 21st, so I'm going to actually count down for the Nightwish song, and it might just be presents for my son at the same time, but obviously priorities and so forth. I know I'm a shit. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, not much else. Actually, when we went away, not away, but when we went up to Dandenongs a few weeks ago, there was a place up there that had some patches, and I got a Pink Floyd patch. I want the wall, I wish you were here, but I got just the name. So I'm like, Jade knows a few songs of theirs. I'm like, you can have it if you want Bird Jacket. It's like, you need to listen to more songs, so you can't be a poser. You can't just like one or two songs and have a fucking patch. You know, pop singer, those fucking t-shirts. So yeah, she was listening to like a best of Pink Floyd on the weekend, and just seeing her, just watching her, like you can see which song she likes, which song she doesn't, and then Wish You Were Here's on. She's like, I like this song, Dad. Says, do you like the song? Like, yeah, it's one of my favorites. Just seeing her discover this band that I've loved for 30 years, it was cool.
Yeah.
So that was a highlight as well.
Nice.
And yeah, what did we watch? We watched Stand By Me last Friday.
Yeah.
Her first time seeing it. That was cool. And previous week we watched Lost Boys. So she's been living my childhood. It's weird. Yeah. I'll shut up. Anyway, Jeff, how are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm surviving. I've had a weird week, you know. I obviously last week buying a car, still don't have the fucking thing. More about that later. As you can imagine, that's a little foreshadowing of my bin. Yeah. Outside of that, working at the new office in Preston, so you know that's interesting. Although it was weird because I had I had Saturday and Sunday off. Then I had to take Monday and Tuesday off to get my car, which never happened. And then I went to work yesterday, and then today and tomorrow I've got my weekend. So like weird. And then I'll be working 7 days straight with the option of working 9 if I want.
Oh my God!
All OT. The 2 days will be OT. So
okay, well that makes it worth your while, I guess.
Yeah, so I might do that. I haven't decided.
So
yet.
9 following on from 7. No break in between.
No, so it'll be 7 days
so there's 7
normally,
gotcha.
And then I can choose if I want to just keep going, and work 2 extra days, which will be, I was told they'll be fully OT, so it'd be like working 4 days or whatever. Yeah, so I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not, because I might be just completely fucking burnt.
Yeah, you might be fried.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and the new Motley Crue single, which everyone fucking hates, but I liked.
Okay,
that was a bit of a highlight. So yeah,
cool.
Thanks, Bill. She was the one that said it. She pointed it out.
No, she put it. Yeah, we all had a bit of a chat about that behind the scenes.
I didn't even know. So anyway, Bill, I'm with you.
Yeah. So my highlight was a parcel I picked up today from the post office that my son sent me, which he foreshadowed in a text message earlier in the week. He's like, I'm sending you something stupid in the mail. I'm like, all right, what the fuck is this going to be?
Yeah.
And he works at JB in Hi-Fi. So I was expecting it to be something from there, and it was. And it was it is stupid. It's this.
Oh, wow.
It's like Monopoly, the Canberra edition.
Oh no way!
Oh my God! The Canberra edition.
It's the lamest shit ever. But it's funny because if you've lived there, like it's all these icons, like, you know, all the museums, like Mayfair is a Parliament House, and you know, all the museums and all that crap. And then there's like Mooseheads is one of the properties, and Mooseheads is like this nightclub / pub that's been there since like I was a teenager going out. Like it's been there fucking forever. So it's just kind of stupid and hilarious, and
that's cool.
Kind of cool as well. So that was fun. That was fun. So otherwise, it's been a bit boring, really. That's it.
That's it.
How are you?
Well, for me, I got some really happy news early this week, which is not my place to share yet, so I can't do anything about that at this point in time. But I'll tell you guys off live stream at the end of the show if you stick around. So just take a minute at the end of the show if you guys want to hang around for a minute. But so that was a real big highlight. Like it's hard to top, but I'll more on that in the future, I'm pretty sure. I think, yes, definitely will be more of that in the future. But in the meantime, this week, I'm going to go with just the simple things, like the ability to take in, like I've actually enjoyed just, as silly as it sounds, because we moved up here for a change of pace, to change the lifestyle. And that, and we're still busy and doing all those things, but actually consciously really focusing on embracing that mentally and just doing little things like doing some work around the property and that kind of stuff, clearing some things up. setting the next stage of, you know, construction into work, and just at the same time listening to great music, which we've had a lot of kicking around, and just sort of doing all that and just taking it in and filling your cup, so to speak, mentally and just emotionally and those sorts of things. I've done a lot of that this week. So it sounds really tacky, but that's just how it's sort of been for me this week. Just sort of taking stock of things and having a really good, just focusing on enjoying things as opposed to constantly grinding, which is
that's cool.
Yeah, it's one of those
you
things
haven't
that
stopped. You have not stopped since you landed, and it's just been all go, and you've been dealing with just being displaced almost. You know, particularly when you were camping and all the shit that went with that, and then building and trying to do this, and so I'm glad that you.
Andrew hasn't stopped since I've known him, and that's like 10 years.
If I ever stop, be worried. But no, it's just one of those things where I think
it's shaking. You're alive, dude.
Weekend of Bernie style. Do a live stream weekend of Bernie style.
That's coming.
One day it will. But yeah, no, it's just I just think it's genuinely important to be mindful about that and do it yourself once in a while, because it does help to, you know, recharge while you're still on the go, if that makes sense. Also, just for something fun, I got a late birthday present, which is this brand spanking new chair, which is like an actual full draftsman's chair, so it goes ridiculously high and stuff. Because I've got a really high desk, actually getting a really comfortable seat to sit in and do these things is a really nice sort of having. It's a small, you know, not oh my goodness, but it's one of those things where
comfort's important, man.
And being able to do editing and that with a bit more comfort, and that just all makes a lot more sense. Before I had my fucking chair on top of wood planks and stuff to sort of get it to the right height, it was all a bit rickety. Now it's sort of like, okay, cool, I can sort of get my chair and go, and it's on wheels and it moves easy. It's like, it's a small thing, but those little things, again, going back to the mindfulness, is what sort of makes your days a bit brighter, and that when you can take in the small things and enjoy it, which, you know, is fun.
Is it easy to fall off, though?
I'm sure it would be if I drank enough, Dave. So, yeah. Stay tuned, because we were talking about a new idea for a random stream here and there, different format, which could result in just that happening in the future. But we'll see how things go. If not me, then I'm sure Dave will fucking beat me to it. So we'll work it out as we go. All right, more comments here. Vinny's here saying, evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great week. Hold still, Jeff, while I'm still at that emblem on your t-shirt. In Nuggets fans also, jam it. Fuck you, I love the Nuggets.
Steal that emblem, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
steal that emblem.
I'll just.
Well, you can have the Oilers because my Flames are out, but the Nuggets, fuck yeah, I'm with the Nuggets. I've been with the Nuggets for years. So I'm glad the Nuggets beat the Lakers. Lakers can go jump. Anyway, Vinny also says regarding OT, make hay while the sun shines, Gen Z. So there we go. Kevin's over on YouTube saying, good morning from the USA. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Having a good day over there.
Morning, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you. Good morning. Hopefully you're having a good one. David's here saying, g'day, all good to see you as well. Vinny's gone, instead of passing go to collect $200, you get to pass fish. We can pick up some fireworks and corn.
You've been up there, haven't you, Vinny? So let me guess, finance.
I've driven through it. That's about it. I've gone to Parliament House, though. I will say I've gone to Parliament House by choice.
Dave was at last year school camp. That was the closest she's been.
Yeah. Vinny says, you know you're old when a chair generates so much excitement. This is true.
It used to be the 4 pen back in school, man.
Yeah, the 4 pens were the thing.
That was the shit. I got a pen.
And then you get the fucking 20 color, and they got stupid after that.
Mine's bigger than yours, motherfucker.
See. Fuck, here we go. Alrighty, songs of the week time. Let's keep moving on. We are.
That says your pen. It's how you write your name.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Work in a euphemism for growing, not showing. At that point in time, I'll be impressed.
Do not have penis envy.
I'm sure you don't, Belle.
Sucks when you need white out. Gotcha.
All right, we're going to move on.
Shit.
Just Dave, just don't get the eraser. Yeah, go rub it out. Anyway,
that pen eraser sucked.
Yeah, I know. All right. Anyway, songs of the week. These where we go through what's made it into the Hot Rocks. This week we go through the top 5 normally, depending on if there are rules in place for that, but normally it's top 5 songs of the Hot Rocks playlist to go in. And this week we've got a pretty good collection of songs. So I've shaken it up. Normally I go through and do a random draw of the order we're going to do things in. This week we randomly assign songs like we always do, but I'm going to go from 5 through to 1 to sort of give an idea of a bit of a countdown on this one. So with that being said, Belle, I'm pretty sure you know that you're up first because you got number 5 this week.
Oh,
shock.
Oh, good. Okay, that's cool.
Well, now you know. But in the comments in the description box, there is a song from a band called Night Laser. The song is "Way to the Thrill." This single comes from the Germans band upcoming album "Call Me What You Want," due on May 24th. It looks to be the 3rd album from the band. This was nominated by Michael in Patreon and took 5th spot this week, just pipping Aussie band The Evils this week. So just pipped The Evils to go number 5. But Belle, with that said, it's over to you with your assignment this week. How'd you go with Night Laser?
Cool. I was actually wondering who put this forward. I thought it might have been Vinny actually, but I was wrong. Anyway, as soon as I started listening to this, it reminded me of that album we listened to last year by Crash Diet.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the vocalist sounded the same.
Yep.
To the point where I actually had to look into it and I discovered that guy died, so it's not the same guy.
And that band is much better than this band.
Yeah.
I thought it was. Anyway, so this song is definitely what you want for this particular arm of hard rock, which it's not always well done. I thought this was pretty well done. It's got a great party vibe, and when I listen to it, I just picture big hair, denim leather, studs, guys wearing eyeliner, just that whole vibe. So they've nailed that. Really nostalgic kind of. Yeah, I didn't. I said that I was going to start watching these. I didn't. I forgot. Fucking hell. Okay. So was that what the vibe was in the video too? Did I just
they're a sleaze rock band, yeah. So
okay, all right. Well, that's just what I visualized. So, anyway, it was cool. Like just a good repeating guitar riff, great chorus melody. I really like the bridge in it. I didn't really like the solo that much though. But I'm discovering I'm getting kind of fussy when it comes to solos. So.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just been shoved in my face a bit.
Yeah,
it's that dream for the t-shirt you own.
My fault.
Now getting pretentious like the rest of us.
I know. Dream Theater's all right. I don't know if I'll own a Malmsteen shirt, but we'll see.
No, it's because you own the Dream Theater t-shirt that you start to get pretentious when it comes to that solo's not good enough. Fuck that shit.
Here we go.
No, it's not. It's got nothing to do with this. Oh my god, you bring me in. I'm just gonna keep reading.
Oh no. Hook, line, and sinker, Belle.
It was a good song. It didn't blow me away, but I didn't dislike it. And but that's just my personal taste. I might have liked it more if I was more into that particular style of music. I don't mind it, but it's not something that I really put on much.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll definitely give it a thumbs up this week, but I probably won't go back to it.
All right. Well, let's do the rounds on it then. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Where does everyone land with this one? Thumbs down, ambivalent. See, I'm going to be in the same because for me, it's funny. Sorry, Michael, I know you nominated this one, but for me, when we put it on was the same morning we were talking about the Motley Crue single and first. And in my mind, when this came on, I was like, oh, God, don't tell me this is the new Motley Crue single. Because it started off a bit like that, do you know what I mean? But it started off a bit sort of like, I'm not sure, and it's a thumbs up now because it grew on me a bit, but it wasn't immediately gripping. It's good when you sit with it for a bit, but and it got better the more time I spent with it. But initially a bit sort of like, Is it what did you dislike about it, Jeff? Just to give a counterpoint.
It just sounded kind of generic to me, really. There was nothing about it that stood out. And given the caliber of all the songs that we did have this week, I thought by far it was the weakest. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Fair enough.
I only went like that because, you know, it's done well. It's a cool song and everything. But 20 years ago when we were completely deprived of stuff like this, and then Crash Diet came along, and then fucking Santa Cruz, and maybe towards the AOR side with Eclipse and Heat, they were exciting. Now we've got so many. It's hard to get excited about,
doesn't it? It's got to do something.
Have to do something.
As Jeff says, kind of, it's well done, but it doesn't have that it factor like so many of those, like those bands I just mentioned. So it's
pretty much it.
Cool. All right. Good points all around. Go to the audience for a second here. Nicole says, I've been to Canberra twice. Used to take my car to Summer Nats. Okay, there you go. That was a bit of fun back in the day.
Wow.
But here we go. Vinny's disagreeing with this. He's going thumbs up, 2 thumbs up for this one. Loads of fun. This song, great nominations. There we go. Adrian says they sound like an 80s band. Well, I'm pretty sure they're inspired by that. Craig says, I thought the solo was pretty cool and unexpected, very, very 80s vibes. So obviously hitting the brief here. Craig also says better than the new Crew for me. So there we go.
That's not hard.
I agree, Jeff. It sounded generic. So we are getting some interesting feedback on this particular song. All right, let's keep us moving along. Let's go to number 4 this time around. We're going to change gears dramatically because, Jeff, you're up next with this one. Yeah. So in the comments, in the description box, you're going to find a link to a song called Farewell, which is by Byron Bay Band in Heart's Wake. This single serves as a farewell to bassist and clean vocalist Kyle Eric, who will also do a final tour with the band in September coming up. This comes after 12 years with the band. This song originally was just put in. I have a list of Australian songs that I just stick in if we need a top-up song. This is just a top-up song, which ended up going to number 4, which is pretty cool to have just a little random song stuck in there. No one nominated it. It was just on my list of Aussie songs. I stuck it in there. I think Michael in Patreon and in the lounge put this song, just put it as a link to check out, and I bookmarked it from there, so it might be where it originally sort of comes from. But yeah, if you like this, then there's a lot more coming because there's a new album called Incarnation due on July the 12th, and there's another single from this album, which if you watch the video, they tease right at the very end of the video in a very, very funny way. But anyway, Jeff, how did you go with this particular poignant little song?
Yeah, I like this song. I found these guys really reminded me of Linkin Park and another band called the Rasmus. And if you took those two bands, had a baby, it'd be this band. I think for me, it was like enjoyable. It was really quite heavy. And then they had the growly vocals in it, which I thought was nice. I thought that sort of broke it up a bit and added a bit another dimension of texture, to it.
Yep.
And whereas Linkin Park would have done like like maybe almost like a rappy sort of thing, like that, like they do. And these guys went a different direction. Thank fuck. Well, I don't mind them. I'm just saying, but if I want to listen to Linkin Park, I'll listen to Linkin Park. That's pretty much it, right? So these guys were different enough that I'd go back to these guys. I quite like them. They had a good sound. There was good production on it, and it had I love the guitar, especially when it starts out. The guitar was just crushing heavy, which was really sort of. It made you think that the song was going to go in a different direction. Like I thought I was going to get some like really super uber heavy growling vocals, and I didn't. And then partway through the song, you do, right? So it's kind of cool. I liked it. So thumbs up for me. I liked it.
All right, let's do the rounds. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Where did everyone land with this one? All right. So, Dave, what was the reasoning for your just taste?
Musically, great. Lyrically, fantastic. Vocally, sucked. The harsh vocals sounds like every other generic fucking metalcore band. I don't know how you can tell one band apart from another when it comes to that style of vocals. Yep. Probably to me, that style of singing is what a Yinri Malmsteen solo is to Bell. But Yinri's got an excuse. He's the same guy. That's why he sounds the same. I mean, you got 20 fucking bands that all have the same screamo shit, and they all sound the fucking same. Honestly, how can you tell one apart from the other? What would make you listen to one band over the other when all the fucking harsh vocals is exactly the same? The only thing that makes this band sound different is because the clean singing sounds like it should be in a boy band. The guy's balls haven't dropped. He's like one step away from the guy from Placebo.
Wow.
Musically fantastic. Lyrically was great. The fucking vocals just killed the shit for me. I can't do it.
All right.
I can't do it.
Bell, you gave it 2 thumbs up, so counter that.
Well, I thought the vocals were excellent. I don't care if they sounded exactly like any other band. They sounded good, and that is the main thing, right? And like you said, the lyrics were good. So I thought the softer stuff was great. The chorus line, that just soared, and they had that beautiful atmosphere behind it. The breakdown was brutal, heavy, and you know who it reminded me of? Another Aussie band, Northlane. It was a very Northlane-y kind of vibe to that. Sort of the whole thing, because there were elements.
And they've toured together.
Because it was different. Yeah. They have.
Yeah.
It was similar, but not the same. Northlane used more techno, electronic elements. Yeah. Whereas it was Northlane. You could see how they're of a similar, I guess, era. If these, and it sounds like they've been around for as long as each other, 12 13 years. Yeah. So it stands to reason that, they would be similar growing up in that genre. But anyway, I just thought it was fantastic. It was one of my two favorites of this round.
All right. Well, we'll see what the other ones are.
I just can't do fucking bands where the vocals all sound the same. You have clean singing, you got a distinction, you got some personality, you got tone. It's all different. You can have 20 different bands of the same genre with a different singer. It all sounds different. And then you got these cunts in all these fucking metalcore bands, all fucking scream. They all have the same tone, the same presentation. You could take one guy and put him in another band, you wouldn't know the difference. What makes you listen to one band over another?
If you exclusively listen to these bands, you would start to pick out.
I've obviously heard plenty in the last few years that we've had to review, and most of them you can just.
But you don't listen to them exclusively.
Yeah.
All right.
You can get a song here and there or an album.
I think that everyone has a taste profile, and some things are just like fingernails down a chalkboard. And then you can't take in the
metalcore bands that we have had, like one or two, like Polaris and Northlane. Polaris, that was fantastic last year, but the last 5 years when we've had to do this shit, seriously, you can copy paste one review to the next, and it's all exactly the same.
For a while, remember, Dave, we used to do a lot of these ones, and then I'd put a pin in them because we just kept getting the same thoughts.
There's no fucking point. They're exactly the same. By the numbers, cookie cutter, same shit. But when your vocalist all sounds the same, what's the point?
That said, I've come to appreciate it a lot more in the time since. Let's see if there's any comments from the audience here on this one. Adrian says, it's all right. Edge Crusher, good to see you. Says, not a fan of this one. Adrian says, I agree, Dave. So there we go. Craig says, not for me. A mashup of different styles without excelling in any of them. Vocals are shite. Wow.
Absolutely.
Dave. Vinny says vocals very Justin Timberlake like.
Exactly. Boy band shit.
Craig says same as the many Linkin Park copycats going around. In the end, goes
nothing original.
I like what he did there. In the end.
Yeah, well done, Craig. Well done. Vinny says they're singing while wincing during a tetanus shot. So there we go. Wow. We're getting a lot of feedback. I just want to touch on just quickly. I'm just going to say the video I thought was very well done.
Watch the video.
Farewell
I should watch
to a bandmate. And the very end of it fucking made me laugh out loud. Like, if you have to watch the video all the way to the end to get the little Easter egg, it's fucking hilarious. I thought it was funny, that part there. But then we go. Rowan says, I can't deal with all these drum kits that sound exactly the same. Cookie cutter, snare, cymbals, it's shit. Yep. Michael says...
part of the fucking problem with that is Rick Bialy did a video. There's a program where you can actually go in and edit all your tracks on any musical instrument. So if you don't like the hi-hat ringer, you can cut that off, or you can replace the snare with this, and it's just all sucks all the life out. It's like auto-tune for music, and this shit is full of it.
It's music by numbers.
And when you're using all the same presets and all the same fucking technology, no wonder all these bands sound the damn same.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Where the term snapped at the grid comes from as well. Anyway, Michael said track was worth it to hear Dave's anger. So there we go. We got Dave fired up. Jolie says wasn't a fan either. And Rowan also says, oh, Dave didn't get that I was making a joke. So there we go.
You're making a joke? I'm a very serious person, dude. Haven't you figured that out?
Oh, here we go. Adrian says,
I'm also quiet and
shy. Do a lot of editing. Yes, you can with any software for
editing.
All right, let's keep moving. This one would have actually been... Next up would have been Conrad's song for this week, but he can't make it. He's obviously working in today, so we're going to see how things balance out in due course. Unfortunately, the timing schedules are getting a bit tricky there. But number 3 this week was Evergrey, Falling from the Sun. That's in the comment in the description box. Dave's given us his thoughts already. This is from the new album Theories of Emptiness, due on, I think it's the 14th studio album from the Swedish band. It's due on June the 7th. Wow, Dave's door needs to be worked on. I know that this, like I said, this was assigned to Conrad. When people miss out, I tend to jump in, and I'm not going to be mad about talking about this song. I fucking, what a band for me. This is probably my personal favorite track for the week. It's probably a neck and neck tie with number one, but yeah, I love this one a lot. It's nominated by Darren, this one this week. It got to third place, deservedly so as far as I'm concerned. This band, this song are just so instantly recognizable for being who they are. As soon as it kicks off, you know exactly who it is. These guys have really developed and honed their sound to perfection, which is something actually pretty rare these days, especially in the context of the conversation we just had. Having something that sounds so definitive and so individual is refreshing in today in the music world. Genuinely one of the most distinctive bands going around for me at the moment. I love the double kick under that crushing riff. The energy, the impact right from the start grabs you, does not let you go from beginning to end. I adore the mix. I love how this sounds. The synth over the top is just over the top of the grunt is perfect. The bass shines on this too, really warm. Tom Englund is one of the finest vocalists going around at the moment for me. His other project, Silent Skies, is really well done too. Not the same, it's like just piano and vocals, but it shows you his strength in another way. But as a vocalist, as a lyricist, he is just fucking up there for me. He's one of the best going around at the moment, and this song showcases that. Great lead work on this. The solos are fantastic as well, and that soft moment just after the main solo section before the final kick out to close the song is just a really great moment in there as well. This is a song I can't get enough of. It's got melody, it's got power, it's got punch, dynamics, and earnest emotion in there as well. I love this band. I've been a fan for a while now, and this is making me damn keen for the album. I really hope everyone else enjoyed this one too. I really do like that. Songs like this one and the Cicadastone track coming up really make me want to get down to Melbourne and get my guitars again, because I want to fucking play these riffs. They're so fucking cool. I love them to bits. But I love this song. It's a fucking the 2 thumbs up from me. This was just a stunning track. What did you guys? Thumbs up, thumbs down. There we go. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Two of them. Okay. Yeah, I love this one. Loved it. I've been a fan for these guys for a long time as well. Yeah, so yeah, great.
Such a good song. Such a good song. I loved it to bits. Could not.
I can hear the chorus. I can hear it right now.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, me too. So can I.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It's that hook is brilliant in there, isn't it? Yeah. Like that, it just gets stuck in your head straight away. I love it to bits. Quickly here on YouTube, Aaron Nat Lawson. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. He's gone. There's no question asked. It's all about Iron Maiden. There we go. The Black Crows can never touch Iron Maiden, so we're going to get some. That's coming up. That's the main event tonight. Vinny says, thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, Swedish brilliance. Edge Crush says, love this band to death. So fresh. You can always rely on them. This is true. Rowan, I dig this one. Adrian, I like the double bass drums. The vocals were a lot smoother than I expected. Edge Crusher says we need to get the band to Australia. Yes, we fucking do. I will do the 4-hour round trip to that band. TJ, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Says that opening riff was great. The rest of the song sounds like a Kmart ad. I'm going to disagree with you, but fair enough. Michael says this track was okay. Nice mix, but not earth-shattering by any means. Did not dislike it, but not as big of a rave for it. Fair enough. There's different things out there for everyone. Craig says 2 thumbs up as well. Love this one. My style of music, very DT in the verses, solo killer, chorus killer, vocals are spot on. So there we go. Yeah. We're getting a lot of love for it, but there are obviously other opinions out there as well, which is why we do these little exercises in fun. Alrighty, Dave, you're up next with the number 2 song for this week, which is in the comments and the description box. This is Riot V or Riot 5, take your pick, with Love Beyond the Grave. The latest single from the American band, which is from the album Mean Streets, due May the 10th. It's not far away now, next week. This was the band's 17th studio album, if I'm correct. Nominated by Darren as well. This one ended up, like I said, this week. Darren is on a run, so it seems, by getting number 3, number 2 this week. But yeah, anyway, Dave, how did you go with your assignment?
Yeah, this is actually a new version of an old band just called Riot. I remember reading about them in Classic Rock magazine that they were the most unlucky band of all time. It's fascinating. I don't remember much of it, but
some of the worst album covers of all time ever as well.
Yeah, like when your mascot is a seal, you're not really going to stack up against Eddie or Vic or some of the other more menacing.
Seal.
Seal.
Mascot's a seal.
It's not very metal.
It's a person. It's like a face. It's fucked up. Trust me.
Yeah, there's a name. It's Tior, because it's a rewriting of Riot. Tior.
Yeah.
But their lineup has completely changed since the 70s, so hence the Riot B. Unless you're in Japan and they think it's a follow-on, so they're just simply called Riot. So it's very confusing.
Yeah.
So lineup changes, bad record deals, and of course the ever-changing musical trends and fickle fans. Fuck this band over. Yeah. I've never actually heard anything from this band before, so this was interesting. No, I'm sure the early stuff is pretty good. I will check.
You didn't do that? Okay, no, it was before your time. We reviewed the last album then, 2015-ish. I remember Dennis.
Yeah, would have been just before. Yeah, I'm sure Dennis was a massive fucking fanboy.
Dennis is a big fan of this band. Yeah.
I will check them out one day. They're on the never-ending list.
Yeah.
Cool intro melody, and then the main riff kicks in. Cool guitar tone that ticks all the right boxes. It's a decent, straight-up heavy metal song. I don't know how many times I listened to this. I wanted to like it more than I do, but there was nothing lyrically that grabbed me. Okay. Lyrics are a really big thing for me. Lots of musicians can play well. Give me some engaging lyrics and some substance, or some lyrics that are just fun. Something I can say, I want to listen to this song over the 50 other fucking bands that I love. Because there's so many people that can play well. I need a good song. I need a song I can connect with. So I can, if it's something immature, like Wednesday 13 saying motherfucker 20 times, or if it's something really deep, like Dream Theater or Nightwish or so many other bands they go on and on about. I actually followed along with the lyrics, and I don't remember a fucking thing about it. Okay. It's all very well done. The vocals sound great. The production's good. It all sounds good, but I need a song. Write me a fucking song. Don't rely on just technique or production or all your fancy fucking effects. It's not all about musicianship or capable production or fancy shit. The solo is really good. It's even got some flanger in it. It ticks all the boxes. I should love this.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'll listen to 20 other things. Yeah. It sounds harsher than I mean to be. It's a good song. As you said last week, it's a song. It's a great fucking line. It's a song. But next week, I'll be listening to so many other different songs. I'll go back to old favorites. I'll find new favorites. This will just come and go. It's fast food music. So it's good. It sounds worse, but it's all right.
All right. Do the rounds. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Where we land on this one? I liked it. I gave it a thumbs up.
I liked it a lot. Yep.
Yeah.
But I've been a fan of these guys forever as well. So I guess, it helps. They're just a good band, but they've been around forever, and they have some of the worst fucking album covers. Their early album covers are the fucking worst.
So funny.
I just posted one, their second album, the Rita, in their chat thing that we've got. Oh my god, that album! Like, what were they thinking? The fuck is that? A samurai seal?
That's the worst shit ever. Oh my god.
That's
terrible.
Bad, that looks like a sumo seal taking a shit.
With an airplane coming in, don't forget
with a plane in the
that's
background to scoop it up. I don't know, man.
High tech, What the
fuck? Bad.
No, it's really bad.
But
look, I think that maybe that was intent to draw you in. Like, people are going, "What the fuck is this?" And they buy it and they like it. Maybe, I don't know.
What year was this? This is before MS Paint, yeah.
That was that's 1981. Yeah.
Jeff, I don't know if they were that big on reverse psychology back then, but maybe that's the trend they were going for.
Maybe they just couldn't afford anything else. It's possible. I know. There's a lot of bad luck over the years. Yeah, maybe that's it. But look, this song, I really, really liked this song. I thought it was well done. So well done. So
nice. Oh, that's cool. It's like I said, these are all fun because it's good to get some different points of view on them. All right, we got one more to go in this little context here, but into the audience here, Michael says, "This track, I love this band, love this. This is a cracker, not the best one this week though. It'd be interesting to see what people's favorite tracks are this week." Adrian says, "Killer track, Edge Crusher. I dig this one." Vinny says, "Great addition to the playlist." Rowan says, "Catchy." We're getting a lot of love for it. Craig says, "Love the tone of the vocals. Not very memorable lyrics. Easily forgotten, but so easy to listen to as well." Jolie says, "Really like this one as well." I liked the lyrics. Just on that note, quickly, I'm not going to drag it on, but I thought they were like the dancing in the graveyard kind of. I thought they were telling that interesting. I don't know. It got my attention. Not stuck in my head, but I thought it was neat, and I liked the video. How it was like performance video with lyrics overlaid, which sort of maybe helped me to sink it in a bit more. I don't know. All right, one song to go. Let's do this one. This is number 1 for this week in our Hot Rocks playlist. This is Cicadastone with Last in Line. Link in the comments and the description box, as is always the case here, folks. Just make sure I press enter to make that actually go through. All right, this is the second single from the Melbourne band's upcoming 3rd studio album, Future Echoes, due out on May 31. My assignment for this week, obviously, as we get through things. Now, Dave, you'll attest to this. We've had a lot of love for these guys for a number of years now.
Good band.
Yeah, for me, this song is no different, and I'm keen as all fuck for this new album to come out. The 2 singles are both fantastic as far as I'm concerned. This is a fucking great one. What a fucking riff. Like I said, with the Evergrey one, this makes me want to go pick up the guitar again and just fucking jam these ones out. Nothing here is complicated, but I love the grunt this particular song has. It's got a great rhythmic pulse to it. Some great groove as well, and the vocals are fantastic as always. They've got, this trademark harmony that they do really well between the brothers. Vocally, it just works so well. I love the hook in the chorus. It's one of those ones where you can hear that hook in your head straight away. The song just stays with you from beginning to end and just stays there. I don't know. It hooks me in, and I don't let go. I love it to bits. It's kind of like the addiction that the song is about, that this just gets under your skin perfectly and just kind of stays there. It's one of those songs. I love the way it builds before the chorus and sort of drops away, that tension and release that they do. And then the chorus is more melodic on top of that. Is just like a really nice way to compose and put this song together. And also great performances across the board. It sounds great, which you expect when Matt's doing the production on this one with his own studio. The cool thing about this one is that it's the first album from this band, which, Dave, you may not know this yet, but it's the first time that because JD's not in the band anymore, Matt's son is now playing drums, which is fucking cool. It's a cool little change, and his attack actually makes a bit of difference, makes it more direct, which is cool. There's a nice bit of lead work in this one, a subtle little solid bass is really cool in this one too. Tommy's work is great. It all works well. They aren't reinventing anything. Let's be clear. We know that. The band sure as shit know that, but they're not trying to. They just know who they are. They know what they do. They love what they do, and they do it exceptionally well. If you enjoy 90s rock at all, or 90s rock and metal kind of thing, this will immediately speak to you. But that said, I think that even if it doesn't speak to you, that genre, that time in music, just ask Dave, because this band will get your attention a lot better than any of the other stuff that was going around back then. This is a really good thing. Obviously, it's for fans of bands like Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, and all the rest. But at the same time, there's so much more to them than just those comparisons. And while there's a lot of nuance when you pay attention to it, they have a distinct sound, all of their own. I love it. I can't stop spinning this song. This is like the 1-2 thing with me and Evergrey. I loved it a bit. I'm glad it got the top spot this week. Especially it was me that nominated it, so I'm taking the win where I can. But anyway, thumbs up, thumbs down. For me, it's 2 thumbs up. But how did everyone else go? Nice. Love all round. Cool. Dave, you want to add anything to that just quickly, because you've followed the band for as long as I have? So
yeah, these bands, Cicadastone have never done a bad song, a bad album. They've seen them plenty of times, both electric and acoustic. And just the 2 brothers up on stage playing acoustic are always good. And I'm keen to hear the new album with this new drummer, so that's cool. But mirror everything you say, man.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but were they at the studio in Cranbourne once?
That was
not for audience filming. Tragic Earth were there, but Cicadastone weren't there for an audience filming. We had them at the studio, but not for an audience filming. The
guys were there, but they didn't perform. Tragic Earth did.
No, I don't think they did perform, but were they there?
On the old lounge days, our society days.
I think one of them might have rocked up,
because I just have a memory for some reason of them being there, and I was there.
Do you know what, Jeff? They were at the THRS extravaganza.
That's what I'm thinking of, the extravaganza, maybe more so.
The gig that we did, you might have met them there.
I may have.
Because I don't think it's a long hike for them to come to the studio, so I don't think they ever made it to the studio apart from an interview. But they were they did the extravaganza for us, and they were a great band. I did both, I think, for us actually in the end, from memory.
Right.
Yeah. Belle, do you want to chime in with anything there?
Yeah. It was cool, like really groovy, groovy verse. And the chorus was cool. They actually, like you've said a few bands that they sound like. I actually thought the chorus in particular has got a bit of a Foo Fighters vibe from it.
Okay, cool. That's all right.
It's kind of it was like groovy and sort of serious, and then it just picked up and went a bit sort of happier.
Yeah.
Not happy, but happy.
No.
They're doing a switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also a bit of Jerry Cantrell, Boggy Depot in there as well. There's a few bits and pieces.
You're always going to get an Alice in Chains vibe.
Definitely picked up Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yep.
Cool. Well, let's see what the audience have to say. Edge Crusher didn't mind this at all. Looking forward to the album. So there we go. Vinny says, "Don't knock MS Paint. We used to draw boobs with it in high school."
Yeah,
well, there we go.
I used the calculator to spell it, dude. Who needs MS Paint?
That's it. But here we go. This is the normal knock. Adrian says Alice in Chains knockoff, which I understand why people say that, but I think there's more to them than that. Adrian says it sounded cool though, so there we go. Man Family, good tune. Yeah. Michael says, love the production and mix, but lyrics resonate with me, and this track got in my head and it stayed there. So there we go. TJ says, Cicadastone kick ass, and the lads are top blokes. They are great blokes. Enjoyed sharing many a stage and many a beer with them. They are fantastic people. Vinny, thumbs up. Jolly says, correct, agree, Bell. Foo Fighters, I thought so as well. And Craig says, got my attention from the first note. It's been done a million times before, but still kept me engaged. Vocalists very stable. Like, yeah, they are. It is that thing, but it's just so good.
They harmonise really well together. That's the
brothers are great.
Make the film of Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. Just quickly, I haven't asked this question before. It's a random one, but out of the Hot Rocks tracks this week, the 10 or 11 tracks, this week in Hot Rocks, what was your favorite? Just quickly here. So, Dave, did you have one that was your particular favorite that you want that you?
Yeah, Evergrey followed by Cicadastone.
Yep. Cool. Jeff?
I would say the Evergrey as well. I've just been a fan of them. So, yeah.
Yeah. Bill?
Evergrey, and then just behind in Heart's Way.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
No,
cool.
I had Evergrey and Cicadastone with my two ones there. That was the ones that I liked a lot. What is Rowan putting in emotion? I don't know what that is, Rowan. I can't tell on this screen. It's too small for me to look it up. So it's like I can't tell if it's like I don't know what that is. Someone rocking a baby or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to keep us moving along here. Craig Bishop says Evergrey was the standout for Craig. So if you checked out the Hot Rocks playlist this week, let us know what your favorite song was in the comments. We'll scroll to those ones later on. But we've got to keep moving on. Next up is the Builder playlist game, where we are going to do the Polydor years for Yngwie Malmsteen. This week is the final week of this one. We'll do the final tally next week, but today is our final choices for this particular bracket. So we've done Rising Force, we've done Marching Out, we've done Trilogy. Last week we did Odyssey. This week we're going to pick tracks from Eclipse. So the fun part about this is that what we do is we go through and pick basically our favorite songs from the albums, and then put them to an audience vote and say, here, which one of these songs or 5 songs is your pick of the bunch? Then we go through and score it, allocate points accordingly, and whoever gets the highest score at the end of this whole thing, gets to quote unquote be the winner. Last week when we did Odyssey, Bell had first choice and chose Now Is the Time. This is all from the album Odyssey. Dave went next, took Deja Vu. Jeff went third, chose Crystal Ball. We assigned Conrad Heaven tonight, so too bad, so sad. We just assigned it to him because he wasn't here. And then I went last and picked Rising Force. Now, the way this works is whoever goes last week goes first in the new.
Can I guess who got what?
Do you want to? Okay, go for it.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
I'm going to guess that top spot went to you, Andrew. Rising Force.
Well, you would be correct.
There we go.
But the thing is,
just a guess.
But when you do this one, last week the total score was I was bottom. I was dead bottom. I was on 60 points. Bell was on 85 points. Dave on 95, Conrad on 100, Jeff on 110. So it was pretty tight, but I was way down the back. The way things worked out this week, as Bell will attest, has really fucked things up in the final scoring. It's like really compressed things. So again, thank you to Bell for doing all the counting behind the scenes. We appreciate it no end. So but yeah, this is really, really tight now. So just for context here, Bell and Jeff, you had to split points on this one because you didn't get a lot of love for your choices. In fact, there was no love for your choices.
Zero love.
Zero love for both of you. So Jeff chose Crystal Ball. Bell took Now Is the Time, and they both get 15 points each because we split the difference there between the two.
What is wrong with people?
I don't know. Here we go. When it doesn't go your way, the audience have bad taste. When it does go your way, well, you enjoy it. Now, coming in at third,
I love you.
Coming in third was the one who was assigned a song. Conrad got given Heaven Tonight, and he got 30 points for that one.
That's so not fair.
Well, you guys got to pick before him, so there you go.
I know.
You can't blame anything about that. The only one that can complain, quote unquote, is me, who went last, but I got the top points, which means Dave with Deja Vu got 40 points, and me, I took Rising Force, who got 50 points. That has completely changed the entire scoring up, because now Bella's on 100 points, I'm on 110, Jeff on 125, Conrad 130, and Dave 135. So it's now not a lot.
Motherfucker, I'm winning.
Dave's out in front by 5 points. Not yet. We got one more week to go, which makes
I'm winning though.
You are.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Let's get
because I get to go first now, and I'm like, my notes on this one were like, my first thought on this one is that I was convinced I was going to be dead last still, and so I was like, okay, if I'm going to be the wrecker, do I then just go through Spotify, find the most popular song, and take that just to fuck everyone else up, or do I try and go with what I like? I didn't know which way I was going to play this one, but now I'm actually in with a shot of getting somewhere. I'm like, oh fuck. So I don't know if I can win per se. Probably very hard. Oh, I might. If I can get to 160, I can win. So we'll see. But anyway, my thoughts in general on this album. I wonder if it's just me when it came to this album, but I don't think it's a stronger collection of songs as Odyssey or Trilogy were for me. I thought those two albums were stronger than this one overall. That said, credit where due. I wasn't a fan of Yngwie's previous mixing work, but this one actually sounded really good. I liked how he actually pushed the guitar back. There was good push and pull in the album, nicely balanced, and I thought everything served the songs nicely. There's plenty of flash, like we all have said before. Yngwie can play like no one else, but he really did do a good job mixing and getting it to sound right and be balanced overall. Funnily enough, there's another change of vocalist in this one, though. Goran Edman is now in vocals, and this whole thing going from vocalist to vocalist is genuinely confusing the fuck out of me, and it's making it hard to get continuity with these albums. And so it's kind of like, okay, every time you listen, you put an Yngwie album on it, there's a change, and it's like, just I want
consistency.
I want something, because they've all been good vocalists. That's the thing. Like, what's going on behind the scenes? Because they're good vocalists. So it's like,
the problem is Yngwie. It's not.
I know. Yngwie is the problem.
He's the prick. Yes.
Yeah. Look, this guy.
They just get different offers.
No, I don't know, man. Because if you've got, because there was some good feedback, especially on Odyssey and that there was some really good critical feedback and charting results and that. So they were on a good trend, and then just suddenly they depart. It's like, okay,
correct.
I don't know. I think Yngwie likes to blow it up.
It just seems that he cops a lot of shit, and I don't know if you're being successful with the combination that you have. Why would you do that? When you're happy to pull back, as you said, you pull back on the guitars and the mixing, and you're producing this shit. Why does Yngwie always cop the shit?
Isn't it just the vocalist though that would change it up? Because he has got some musicians that stayed with him for a lot of these albums.
I've got a point on this because, like I said, Goran is a good to strong vocalist. Let me just finish off here, but but all this sort of stuff is sort of making it a bit harder for it to. I'm wondering how much
band, like the drummer, the bass player, the keyboard, are they all the same? Or
the keyboardist is not, because Jens Johansson is no longer in the band, and he was on the earlier albums, and I thought Jens Johansson was a great foil for Yngwie.
Is he in Stradivarius by now? Because Yngwie or Stradivarius, I go Stradivarius.
But that said, what he was doing against Yngwie's playing was really pivotal to those songs, and I think missing him now, it's not bringing the best out of these songs for me.
Sorry, I was going to say, I thought he wanted to join Dream Theater before he joined Stradivarius.
I'm not sure.
Jens Johansson.
I think
he auditioned and was waiting for a response, and then decided to just go up.
Yeah, and they went with Derek Sherinian.
Yeah.
This album is a nice, solid album. Don't get me wrong. For all the negative things I'm saying, it's a good, solid album. It does feel a little bit like Whitesnake Light, though, at times, which I thought it sort of struggled to get off to a good start for me. The darker part of the album, where it kicks off with sort of like from Devil in Disguise on, that's when it gets good for me. The rest was sort of like ho-hum. We've heard this before. From that point forward, it got darker and it got a bit meaner. I liked that part of the album. That way, from there to the end, it's much more engaging for me. All in all, it's funny to me because the most popular song on this one isn't in any of those later tracks. And in a way, it's kind of, I'm glad that we decided to do the 5 albums, the Polydor years, because I'm ready to put this to bed, if that makes sense. I'm glad we're not going to go through and do a whole lot of these ones. I'm kind of ready to put this one to bed.
I'm enjoying it, but I'm done.
Yeah, it's worth listening to. It's a good album, well worth checking out. Don't get me wrong, but I just think the high tide mark was set with the previous 2 albums, and this one doesn't get near it to me. Like it's a good, solid album, but the trend is now kicking down as opposed to up. So which way do I go with this for choosing a song? Because if I want to go with the one that is the popular track, well, then I know which one to take. But at the same time, if I go with my personal tastes, I should honor that. So I'm going to go with my personal taste and just go see what happens. My second pick would have been what do you want? But my actual pick for this one is actually going to be Judas. I'm going to take Judas off the board. Yeah. That song, that hook, I enjoyed it quite a lot. So Judas was my choice. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
But Bill, you're up next.
I'm trying to figure out which one I actually flagged to pick, but that's all right. I'll figure it out. So all right, this is my first listen to this album, and I continued to be surprised by this journey, I guess you'd call it, that Jeff has sent me on. Sent us on.
Yeah. Good.
It's a good project.
Yeah, it's really just surprised me because I did have preconceived ideas about what I was going to get from these 5 albums, and occasionally I need to be, shaken up and slapped about and just
probably not a good way to use those words. You're right.
It's good for me. I mean, this happened with Dream Theater as well.
Yeah,
like
it's good to get your taste challenged.
Yeah, I was challenged, and I persevered, and I listened to more than just one listen of one album, and I was really surprised, and now I really like them. I don't think I'll ever be as obsessive and annoying as Dave is with them, but I can say that I'm a fan. Sorry, Dave.
I live to be annoying.
That was an unnecessary dig. Anyway,
nice one. Dave catching straight.
Hey, try and live with me when I'm learning Dream Theater songs, man. I'm fucking horrible. Julia talking, I'm like, what? I'm like counting.
Yeah. That's when Mimi comes along and starts doing the same thing. But anyway.
Yeah, she does it to you.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Anyway, I wrote a bunch of shit, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm just glad we did this because I have found some music that I really like, and I'm sure I'll go back to at least what was the second album called? The second
album, right? Marching
Out. I really like that one.
Marching Out,
I already love Odyssey. This was pretty cool. I don't think it was as strong as Odyssey, but I enjoyed it. I think this seemed to be the most accessible, even more so than Odyssey. It just seemed to be a bit more not commercial, but the most commercial.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. So my song that I'm going to choose is Devil in Disguise.
Ah, cool.
That was really cool. I like that one a lot.
That was a cool song. That was on my short list.
Nice.
Wow.
That's where it kicked off for me. All right. So that said, Dave, over to you.
Cool. I've never heard this album before. And sometimes when you put an album on, you'll always remember exactly where you were, what you were doing when you first heard it. So I was pleasantly surprised when I put this on. Just like, wow. Second song, Bedroom Eyes, has a wah pedal in the solo.
Yeah.
Everyone said Yinri plays the same solo over and over. I'm like, is this Yinri playing? Because this is not his usual style. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, it's him. He used himself a bit for this one, I think.
Yeah, it's him. But the fucking wah pedal thing was so cool. So I'm going with that song, Bedroom Eyes.
Nice.
Easy. Fun.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Which leaves Jeff. Now the floor is yours.
Yeah. Look, I've always been a fan of this album. I have some interesting memories I will not share, but just know that we'll just leave it at that.
Wow. What do you even do with that, Jeff?
I know. Look, it's just, So look, there's just some memories that I've associated with this album of a certain time in my life and certain activities and friends. Anyway, won't get in there. But but I do like the album, and so I have some, beside those weird memories, which maybe I'll share with you at some point. I've got, I think the album is quite accessible. I think the album, the previous album, Odyssey, really has to be the pinnacle of his career, in my opinion, as far as pure songwriting goes. It doesn't get much better. Joe Lynn Turner's voice, vocals, amazing.
Yeah.
Lyrics are great. The whole bit, everything. Band is firing on all cylinders, and they sound like a band. And then this album comes along, new singer, new band, really, a new drummer, the whole bit. I think they tried to bring, something from the previous album. Goran is a great singer, all by himself. He's got his own style, he's got his own sound, and he's very accessible. So I think it's a good album overall. And I'm glad it's the last one, because the next one, Fire and Ice, which is also Goran. It's got some
that's not bad
songs on it. Look, Elektra, they signed with Elektra, and they went, no, we're done. One album. So look, it's there's something about the Polydor years, and this is it. But sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
Okay. Nicely done.
So like that one.
Done. There you go. All right. So now I'm left in a bind because we have to assign Conrad a song. And so my thought process may or may not, we'll work it out on the fly, but I would tend to go with, okay, what is just to give it a fighting chance. I
know what I'd give him.
What would you give him?
See you in hell. Don't be late.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. That's fired there.
People can't save you now, bitch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm just taking the piss. But I know in all fairness, he'd probably take with Making Love. It's a good song. And it's
I was wondering. Okay, let's do Making Love, but I was going to make it as a default rule that it might be an idea to. I'll go with Making Love just because it is a good opening track.
It is a good song.
But the way I was thinking is that just in general, if someone misses out, then whatever is left over at the end of everyone making their choices, they'll get the most played song on the Spotify album. Just a general sort of backup plan for future reference, just to have it in the back of our heads there. All right, so just to recap there, our final selections for the Polydor years of Yngwie Malmsteen is from Eclipse, which I've chosen Judas. Bell's got Devil in Disguise. Dave has Bedroom Eyes. Jeff has Motherless Child. Conrad has Making Love. Going to be an interesting battle or voting session coming up this week, so stick around or stay tuned to our socials and you'll see the vote come up in the next few days for that one. Some comments here. We have Evergrey from Craig choosing his favorite song of the week, which is nice. Leo, good to see you over on YouTube, saying Red Hot Chili Peppers is better. Which particular song? Because we're not talking about them tonight, but they are a very good band. I like the early stuff.
Pretty good.
I like the early stuff, not the later stuff.
True.
Michael says Hot Rock, Cicadastone, and Dreadful Tides. Fire in the Hole. Simple track but rocks me. Dreadful Tides is a great one. Craig says still can't be choose between Deja Vu and Rising Force. So there we go. Michael says Eclipse was same old. Nothing was new or groundbreaking about it. Adrian says Yngwie album is a great album. Goran Edman is a good vocalist. That is true. Adrian also said listen to the guitar work and the vocalists are top notch. There we go. Craig said Eclipse had great production and Goran Edman is a top vocalist. The problem is the songs just didn't cut it for me, so different feedback there. Rowan says Eclipse is my favorite Malmsteen album of these Polydor releases. Love every track, love the new singer. My favorite Malmsteen song on this album too is Fault Line. So there we go.
Oh. Yeah,
Jolie says the Hot Rock's favorite for her, Fire in the Hole, the Dreadful Tides. Cool. I'm glad that's still getting some love. Adrian says Rowan, mine too. I'm trying to work out where that goes back to. Anyway, I'll let that work it out. Vinny says, right there for me, also Jolie. So there we go. Obviously back to the Fire in the Hole. Rowan also said, I don't mind the changing singers. Malmsteen's playing could be a bit samey, but the changing of singers and the atmosphere they each bring is a great way to bring much needed variety. Okay, good counterpoint. Counterpoint.
That's a good point.
It is. Yeah.
Very good point. Adrian says, Save Our Love is a great tune and Motherless Child. So there we go. Michael says, debut album, my fave, then Marching Out, probably on an island, but that's just fine. Okay, cool. No, Marching Out gets love, though. Don't worry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Rowan also said, so I don't agree with Jeff about the post-Polydor releases. I think they continue to be great all the way through to Facing the Animal. So another 5 albums from here. Facing the Animal is my favorite.
I'm going to explore a bit. I'm curious.
Okay.
Me too.
I like Fire and Ice.
Okay.
Nice. I think I might just continue my own little journey and just see why they get so much shade.
Yeah, I'm curious.
That's cool.
I honestly haven't heard an album since Fire and Ice. I know the old panel, Andrew, Jenny, Dennis, and Jimmy. You fucking canned the Yinri Moldstein album where you were all turning your backs on it. Literally, that was a classic, fucking great off the rails review.
That was
I'm curious. I've never heard it.
Interesting, but I like how this is inspiring people to go and do those things. Like
Dennis
there's plenty
and
of
Jimmy.
So make sure you go and do your own thing. Don't just take our word for anything. Just go and check out the music and enjoy your own path.
Basically, Animal is a great album as well. It is. It opens up with Braveheart, which is a fucking kick-ass song. Yeah.
Well, we're getting some love for that because Adrian says Facing the Animal is a great album. There we go. Sparks, he says, love the shirt, Jeff. So there we go for the Oilers. Yep. TJ says, so where were you when you first heard it? I'm not sure. I'm assuming that. Okay.
Was he referring to my
Death and his story that everyone wants to know?
It wasn't the first time I heard that album. It was just background music.
Oh God.
Use your imagination. That's better than my story anyway. Just imagine whatever you want, and that's what happened.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more behind the scenes. Anyway, Michael says, I agree. We don't need to trash Yngwie on anyone's say so. Thankfully, most of his work is available. Yes, almost all of it is now available. So go and check that out.
Like I said a few weeks ago, I've actually spoken to the dude on the phone for 15 minutes. He's a really nice guy. He's a fucking talented guy. I don't know why he cops so much shit.
Yeah. But on that note, just go and check out. He's touring very shortly, so if you're keen, go and see him do his thing.
Big fucking shout out to Ragdoll. They got the support for Yumi Moldstein.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
They got the fucking main support for Yumi Moldstein.
Cool.
That's awesome.
That's going to be cool. Well done to the boys.
I was going to go, but I've seen him twice now, and I thought, I can't.
Okay. I'd go for Ragdoll, man.
Yeah, well, I would too. Actually, that's fucking great. Yeah. Rowan says, Fire and Ice is great. So there we go. Jason, he's here. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. He's gone, cool show, guys. I'll be splitting to Austria and Germany soon to see my girl. Hope to see many metal gigs. You're going to a great place in the world to see gigs, but also Germany in particular is a lovely country. I spent a lot of time there. My ex is from Germany, so a lot of love for that country. Enjoy. It's a great place.
Nice.
If you go to Munich, don't even try and speak German because they all speak English anyway. But go to the Hofbrauhaus, and it's a whole lot of fun there, man. That'll be because it's right near Austria. So go to the Hofbrauhaus.
And jump in on future streams and let us know what bands you see. And
exactly.
Interact, talk to us.
Yeah. Keep in touch. It's a great part of the world, man. I love it over there. So please keep us posted if you feel inclined to do so. But good luck with everything going forward, regardless.
Go to Finland while you're so close, because Finland's got great bands.
Or go to Sweden. As Brendan said, that part of the world, the Finland, Sweden, that kind of stuff. If you shake a tree, a good band falls out.
Exactly. I mean, did you hear about the shit band from Finland? They had to move to the US.
Anyway, Sparks his reply saying Jeff and his cute Hefner Day. So there we go. There's one there.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows. I'm sure he knows. TJ says that was directed at you when you first heard it. The previous comment when you first heard it. He goes, I hope Ragdoll likes donuts. And Michael says,
I love donuts.
Remember, everyone, Yngwie is in Melbourne playing in a couple of weeks. Yes, we just touched on that as well. So go and see Yngwie if you feel so inclined. Otherwise, go and check out the music. Make up your own mind as always. Alrighty. On to some more fun now because we're going to move on to. Actually, next week before we do this, next week we're going to start a new series. We're going to build a playlist collection next week. We're going to start off by going back to an all-time classic band. We haven't done much on this band in the past. A couple of albums here and there, maybe. But we're going to go and do this whole thing. We'll pick one song each. Fuck, Dave. We're going to pick one song each from the Led Zeppelin albums from week to week. So we're going to start off with the debut and work our way through. So we're going to go Led Zeppelin albums and see how we go with that because we haven't really done a full-on deep dive into their career. So it's not a full deep dive, but it's a way to sort of give ourselves a little touch and see what happens there. So next week, going to start with Led Zeppelin albums. So do the same premise, same thing, pick a song and all that sort of stuff, and then have the audience vote. But Led Zeppelin is starting next week, so that'll be fun. Alrighty, so while we wait for Dave to come back, just a quick recap on the Who Am I album edition that we've been doing. Belle started us off, and she had Bon Jovi, New Jersey, which was guessed by Dave. Dave then went next, and he had Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland, which I actually managed to guess. Then Jeff has done a backup for filling in for Conrad last week, which was Scorpions, Love at First Sting. No one guessed it, which led to a bit of conversation. Jeff, just for the record, don't ever doubt yourself, because you do a great job with these things, and I'm glad you'll be filling in again in a moment for Conrad again. But like I said, next week I'll have one just to keep things moving on, because it is just sort of at that point we just got to keep ticking away. But before we get stuck into that, some more comments here. Adrian says Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page, one of my favorite guitarists. He is up there for sure. TJ says Zepp mint. I think I get a lot of love for it. Rowan says Led Zepp cool. Zeppelin. Craig says Zeppelin is too hard for me. I couldn't choose just one from each. Well, that's going to be the challenge for us.
It will be hard.
It will be hard. Especially on certain albums that some of us will love to bits. So it's going to be a tricky one to go and do, but we will get there in the end. While Jeff has visitors in the background. Basher, good to see you. Nice. Led Zeppelin, my favorite. So there we go. It is a good one to start with. It's only a handful of albums, so it is one of those things where it does fit the premise that we're going for nicely. We don't only go for 10 weeks on these ones, just sort of like in about the 5-week mark for these. It's a good little way to sort of split things out and have some fun with it. We'll do other things like build a band again and build a collection of albums. We'll go back to those ones in a while, but we sort of try this one for a bit and see how we go with that for a bit of fun. Still waiting for Dave, so I got to fucking keep padding. All right. Dave, you fucker, you did this at the wrong time. Oh, here we go. You can hear the noise.
Go. Don't wait for me.
Anyway, so now that Dave is jumping in, Jeff, the floor is yours with Who Am I, the album edition. Remember, it's one guess each.
Oh, fuck, sorry, dude.
I've cleared the comments so that I know that if anyone guesses the comments, what timestamp will come through. So we'll see if anyone guesses it first. Sorry, TJ says, babe, I'm going to leave you, wins everything. Well, we will see about that in future.
Yes. It might.
So good.
It might not. Anyway, Dave, just so you know that we're doing Zeppelin starting next week.
I heard.
It is.
Took Davis to open the motherfucking door.
One guess each.
Stop
if we don't guess it, that's it. Jeff, you have 10 clues for us between us and the audience. Let's see who can guess the album for Who Am I this week. So over to you.
When you think you know it, stick your hand up and go, ooh, Mr. Carter. And
anyway,
before your time. Bill.
What?
Definitely before your time. Welcome back,
Let's
Carter.
Just keep moving.
Anyway.
This is Canadian.
It's not Canadian. It's John Travolta. How fuck? It's okay. There's a show called Welcome Back.
He was in Grace.
I know of the show. He was in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Before all that, he was in a show called Welcome Back, Carter.
I know. I know.
Yeah, I'm sure the audience knows. They know who to fucking talk about.
They're not that old. Don't say our audience is old. Can we just come on?
Okay.
Just quickly.
Be mature.
Adrian says, cool shirt, Dave. So there's some love for Dave's wardrobe as well. Michael said, Dave Cotter, we are with you at our place. So there we go on that one there. All right, on with it, Jeff. Let's get into the game. Who am I?
Who am I? Now, leading up to the writing of and recording of this seminal album in mid-1985, the band was at its lowest point of their career. They found themselves without a singer, manager, and their longtime producer. Now, both the manager and the producer had actually left to manage and produce their departing singer, believing that the band was sunk without him. The band had one resounding thing to say about this. Fuck them. So the band went out to do the impossible, to replace the arduous task of finding a replacement vocalist, a frontman. When they finally did, they didn't waste any time and headed straight into the studio. The album in question tonight was released in March of 1986, just slightly more than 2 years after the previous album, meaning there was no wasted time between albums. It had 9 songs and made it all the way to the U.S. Billboard spot of number 1, surpassing the previous album by 1.
Was it Van Halen? Was it Van Halen? Their album? I can't think of it. Shit.
I will continue. If you know the answer, just stick your hand up. So the album was co-produced by Mick Jones of Foreigner fame, and the band itself, and of course, their longtime engineer. The album was the first album with their new singer. Now, people had said that their old singer was so well liked that there was no way this new singer could possibly fill his shoes. But in fact, the opposite turned out to be true. Not only did he fit in, but with him as the front man, the band would enjoy more success than ever before. Question number 5. The album would go on to sell around 7 million copies worldwide, 6 times platinum in the US alone. Now, despite this is question 6, the initial reaction from the critics were mixed. Most thought the album was weak and somewhat lacking, but it didn't matter to the band because they never followed trends or cared what critics said. The fans liked it, they liked it, and that's all that mattered. Question 7.
I'm trying to think of the title. Fuck.
The album would garner 5 hit singles, 4 of which would make it inside the top 10 of the Billboard charts. One of them would actually go all the way to number 1. Question 8. The album was actually recorded in-house at the band's studio, which happened to have the same name as the album. Question 9. The album would be the first of 4 albums with their new singer, who brought a new life to the band. And because he too was a very gifted guitar player, this allowed for...
I know it. It's Van Halen 5150.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, I was thinking that, but I thought that was their second album.
Once you said the studio name, that was it. That was
bloody.
Oh, all right.
Studio name.
Yeah, so that was no problem. So that was up to question 9. We're almost at the end. Belle, I had high hopes. I thought you were going to get it, but you didn't. So
I was thinking 50, but I don't know why I didn't say it. I should have just guessed, and then I would have been out anyway.
But you were there, but you just weren't able to cross the line.
I just fucked it.
I was way off.
Anyway, I'll finish up. I'm almost done. So the album will be the first of 4 albums with a new singer, brought new life to the band, and because he was a very gifted guitar player himself, this allowed for the band to hold new creative freedom that was never felt before in the band. Which itself led itself to better written songs. And of course, number 10, the album title and the studio where it was recorded is 5150, the California law for a term for a mentally disturbed person. So well done, Andrew, on question number 8, halfway through 9, but you got it. All right. And Belle?
Once you said the studio name, I knew it. Like that was that you want to get my attention, that's where it gets it. But I wasn't first. I'll go through the comments here. But Michael also said, young whippersnappers here, not born in your nap or in nappies. So there we go. But we got a lot of love early. So Craig said Van Halen, Michael said Van Halen. But then first up was Kevin. Good to see you over on YouTube. Said Van Hagar, 5150. He was the first one there. Followed by Craig Bishop. Adrian says Bell got it. Well, not quite. Didn't get the album. But Michael got 5150. Basher said Bad Company. Adrian said Dreams and Summer Nights, my favorite tunes, of 5150. TJ said Craig wins. Well, on Facebook, yes, but actually in rooms, Kevin got that.
I feel bad for Belle because she had it, but
I know.
I had it.
Yeah.
I couldn't give
it was
you
the same for me last week.
I wasn't able to.
I didn't quite.
I should have just spat it out what I was thinking, but I don't know why I had it in my head that was the second album with Sammy Hagar. I don't know why. I'm like, it's not 5150. What is it? But
it was 51.
Well, it was 5150. These things happen, but it's part of the fun. That's just part of the fun.
Yeah, it was good.
I hope you enjoyed
it.
So, Vinny, TJ says, fun fact, Rage has a mullet special playing right now. That would be bizarre. But Vinny has gone back in jail, Bell. You don't pass Fish Week. Roll a double to get out. So there we go.
Nice.
Like
Kevin's followed up. Said the first live concert I ever went to was that tour of Van Halen 5150, August 4th, 86 at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Fucking wow, man. That is cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
That would have been fucking amazing. Good to share that with us. Thank you for that. That's cool. Craig says, best of both worlds. The title track is still my favorite VH song. That is a fucking great track. I love the energy in that track. We've done a couple of Van Halen specials over the years now, so check out our work on that in the past. Alrighty.
I thought you were going to have. I honestly thought Dave was going to bang. He would have had it right off the bat.
I was way off.
Dave didn't get it. Andrew would get it. And Bell had it
Bell was almost there, yeah. Just didn't quite work.
Bell was like me last week at Scorpion.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was the thing. Sometimes it's right there and you just can't.
Time.
It took.
I even have it on vinyl. I've got the records. It's so stupid.
The thing is, you get angry at yourself, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, because I was trying to think of the album title as well. I couldn't think of the album title, but as soon as Jeff said the studio name, like, that's it. I know
the
it.
name. Yeah.
If I had said it was Atlas holding up the world, you would have got right off the bat.
Yeah.
Everyone would have got it.
All righty. Time for the main event of the evening, and that is time to get into the King of the Riff. What have we got here?
Ooh.
Sorry, Kevin says BTO opened up. Wow.
Oh, right. That's an overdrive.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh. That would be fucking amazing. Guru is here too, finally. Greetings from across the plain. Black Crows are dope. So there we go. You have timed yourself just right because we are getting into that now.
Good segue.
Good segue. Time to get on to King of the Riff, 1990 versus 1992. This week, it is Iron Maiden, No Prayer for the Dying versus the Black Crows, the Southern Harmony and Musical Companion. In the description box, there's reference tracks where you got Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter from Iron Maiden. You got the Remedy track from the Black Crows. I'll put both of those in the comments just quickly while we do this now. So let me copy and paste one and then the other one while we do it. So two very different albums this time around, which has been the case with all of these as we go through things. It's all been different things because we just polled the audience to get the top 10 albums from each year and then 1v1, 2v2, so on until we are now up to number 8, I think it is. Number 8, which is No Prayer for the Dying versus the Southern Harmony and Musical Companion. I've done a random draw for the order of this one. We have the audience results of this one as well to see if we match up with that. So thank you to Bell for that. Again, with the counting behind the scenes. But I get to go first this week. So it's going to be, I'm going to kick us off and see where things lead us after this. So interesting battle, this one. Very interesting battle. Incredibly different albums, incredibly different bands. Like, we've had that as a recurring theme, but it's just been the way it's played out. It's funny how a lot of that has been the way this has gone through. As we get toward the end, you look back and go, fuck, we had a lot of interesting, weird battles. But it's been a good little challenge to go through and do this one.
Yeah.
Now, Iron Maiden, we all know that and love this band. It's pretty safe to say that this isn't their strongest album overall, though I think it does get sort of left behind by a lot of their other albums. The Black Crows, on the flip side, for me, aren't a band I spent a hell of a lot of time with. I remember when Remedy came out and everyone was like, oh my God, but I was not really interested at the time that it came out. That band, however, listened to this album, The Black Crows, being a newer experience, put me more in mind when you listen to the whole thing of being this weird mashup of Pink Floyd and the Eagles. Make that work in your mind however you will. But there were certain little guitar moments that had a bit of a Dave Gilmour feel to it, a bit of the Eagles and stuff going in there as well. But it's still their own complete sort of sound, which, you know, leans into the blues a fair bit more, which was just really interesting to sort of take in from top to bottom as a virtual new listen for me. Over on No Prayer for the Dying, you got a solid collection of songs overall from top to bottom. I think some genuine highlights in this one are tracks like Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. I think that is the best song in the album for me personally. But also Tail Gunner is a good one. Holy Smoke is very popular as well when it comes to that one. Over on the Southern Harmony and Musical Companion, you've got obviously the massive hit and Remedy. That when that came out, that was ginormous. That was everywhere all the time. It was one of those songs. It was just, it just smashed it. But other tracks like Thorn in My Pride and Sting Me being the opening track, they were popular and good tracks on this one as well. Again, very different bands, very different albums. We know what we're getting into. These ones are weird, but it is part of the fun. For me to pick the winner, I had to really sort of focus on both these albums really deeply. Both sort of grew me as the week went on, which is a good sign for both of them. They sort of, No Prayer for the Dying isn't in my top list of albums from Iron Maiden, but listening to it in this context gave it more meaning to me. It made it more interesting to me overall. And getting into really for the Black Crows on this album for the first time was a good experience as well. So focusing on both was what was required to find a winner. It came down to which album had the sort of deeper cuts that I like more and which had a better sound in the end. So I'm actually going to go with the Black Crows this week. I love Iron Maiden. I love Iron Maiden to bits. I think everyone that's seen the show for a long time will know how much I love Iron Maiden. We did the Priest v Maiden special a couple of times in the end, and I still chose Iron Maiden every single time. And they're one of my favorite bands. But I think that on this album, like, No Prayer for the Dying isn't an album I reach for often when it comes to it. I'll pick a couple of songs in particular, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, but one really great song does not a good album make kind of a thing. It's not a bad album. It's just an album that's not forgettable, but it's just at the same time not entirely memorable from top to bottom. As a counterpoint, the Black Crowes really sort of crafted a fine record that I think I want to go back to listening again, and I want to go and check out more of kind of thing. So it got me more engrossed and interested in the band. And I love some of the solos on that album. Like I said, there's a bit of a Dave Gilmour feel at times. There's some great feel. I love the sound. The mix is fantastic. And on top of all that, while it's certainly not the most hard rock album by a long way, it's just got some genuine warmth, some genuine soul, some great storytelling. And that's another reason why this one wins. It feels fresh, vibrant, and engaging. Whereas I think on No Prayer, apart from a few tracks, Maiden feels like a little bit like they're not just. It's funny because it's the first one with Yannick Gers on guitar, but they feel a bit tired to me at listening to that album compared to other albums. I just feel a bit tired. Not in an oh my god, it's such a bad album. It just doesn't have the same zest, which is again interesting with a new member coming in, but it doesn't have that same vibrancy of other albums that. In this context, the Black Crowes, that vibrancy was on that album for me. So I'm going to go that way this time around. So one down, a few to go. Let's see what happens next, because we are going to go to Dave. Glad you came back. So you're up next.
I didn't leave. I just had to get something. I totally get where you said that Maiden do sound a bit tired. Like in 1990, for like 10 years, they've been Right Record Tour. They were fucking... And if you look in the cover of Live After Death, the fucking tour dates that they did on that tour alone
they should have taken
is insane. And like the 80s was a massive fucking party. So, 1990 versus 1992. Two very different styles, two very different bands. I won't go on too much about either band. I'm sure fans of each band know all about them. No one needs to hear my personal history lessons or my bullshit opinions. I'll probably just get told to shut up anyway.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. The Black Crowes have only one song that I've ever heard, Hard to Handle, which I never liked. It was very fucking nice dad rock, very clean, not the type of shit. It had no flash, it had no arrogance, it had no fucking flair. And that's everything that attracted me to heavy metal when I was 10. Yeah. So shit like this, I just did not give a flying fuck about. So I was pleasantly surprised listening to this 34 years later. Blues rock done well. I like blues. Musical taste has expanded over the years.
Yep.
But the reason I got up, I wasn't going to bother with this. I didn't think I would actually be able to find it in the dark. But
like your pecker. All right, what's that?
Oh wow, that's the artwork.
Nice. That's the original artwork.
Yeah,
here's my fucking poster that I had when I was 10.
Wow.
I still got it. I can't believe I found it. I got heaps of posters rolled up over there. I found it.
That's cool. Well done.
Yeah. That was on my wall when I was 10, along with this motherfucker.
Pretty.
Yeah, I can see a trend.
So at 10,
this explains a lot.
Heavy metal and horror was like a massive awakening. So
yeah,
when Iron Maiden did the song for Nightmare on Elm Street 5 with Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, holy shit, worlds collide, motherfucker. I was so happy. But you get older, you hear every Iron Maiden album, become a massive fan, love them to bits, and this album cops a lot of shit. And I know the metal elite were like, I'm a massive Maiden fan. I love 2 fucking albums. Fuck you. Fuck off.
It's a good album. It's just not.
It is a good album, but it's not as good. When you got a fucking bar set like this, when you do that, you're not gonna. And much like Fear of the Dark, there are great songs on here, but there are some filler as well.
I reckon you can make both of those albums into one great album. Do you know
yes, exactly. And we've done this Maiden thing a few times, and these albums, No Prayer for the Dying and Fear of the Dark, you can have one fantastic album if you trim the fat.
Yeah.
But they're getting tired. They got a new lineup. It's Right Record Tour. But when they're up, they're up. When they're down, they're not. But this is one. Remember those CD players where you could program the tracks that would play?
Yeah.
I would do that with this album all the time. And now on Spotify, you can just queue up what you want to hear. But Cow Gunner, Holy Smoke, Assassin, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, and Mother Russia are always my favorite songs from this album. Assassin has got that fucking menace. And at 10 years old, I love that in every song that I've heard for the past 34 years.
I find that to be one of the weaker tracks for me personally.
Really? I love that song. And the fact that they played it at the Live at Donington, because when Dickinson left, they had real live one, real dead one, Live at Donington. Yeah, that was a live track. And that was one of the fucking highlights from the album. And of course, Bring Your Daughter, that's just such a fun, and the chanting, the gang vocals, fuck yeah, I love that shit. And the music video to Holy Smoke, just sticking it to the TV evangelist at the time. They were like, oh, heavy metal, we got to burn these albums. Give me your money so I can drive my fucking Cadillac. But you can't listen to heavy metal, but I'm going to go fuck 5 prostitutes in a hotel. Oh, I got caught. Oh, shit. So Iron Maiden, Suicidal Tendencies, and Ozzy Osbourne all wrote songs about this motherfucker. This was a good time because, like, you holier than thou cunt, fuck you. We are way better than you are.
Was it Genesis or Peter Gabriel? Or was I don't know.
It was a free for all. Every band who got their albums burnt by that motherfucker. But Holy Smoke is just a fun song to sing along with, and the music video is fantastic. And the dude on the tractor is Steve Harris's dad.
Oh, okay.
If you've seen the music video, it's just which is sad if you know the story behind the X Factor later on, because they were very close. Anyway, it comes down to taste, and obviously I'm going Maiden. Fucking love Maiden. Even at their worst, even the X Factor, which has one good song. No, I like the X Factor. It's Virtual 11. That's the bad one. X Factor I'll defend to my dying day. But Virtual 11. Yeah. I'm going Maiden. I'll shut up.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Well, we'll get Conrad in if we need to, but Jeff, you're up next. Which way are you going on this?
All right. Bear with me, please.
All good. All good.
That's all here. I just gotta go into the vault and pull it up. All right, there it is.
Cool.
Okay. Now let me just do that. Close that. Well, I because I can't get it already because I've got my screen just shrunk a little bit
I know.
when I go in here. Yeah.
It's weird,
Weren't you prepared, dude?
It's just a screen setup, that's all.
So I have to shrink the StreamYard screen to get access to my my Word and all the documents and stuff.
Gotcha.
All right. Yeah. All right. So the Black Crowes, the Southern Harmony Musical Companion, 1992 versus Iron Maiden, No Prayer for the Dying, 1990. So as you said, Andrew, this is perhaps one of the strangest battles that we've had yet, but nothing new there. We've done this.
Yeah.
These two bands, notwithstanding these two albums, have very little in common. Genre-wise, they're very different. One's a rock band with a strong rock blues sound. The other is the new wave of British heavy metal, right? Similar in some ways, but others polar opposites. And so as for my familiarity of these two bands and respectable albums, I know No Prayer for the Dying far better than I know the Southern Harmony Musical Companion, which I'm not sure I've ever actually heard in its entirety before this album battle. And the only song that I knew here was Remedy. So in regard to Maiden, I would go so far as to say that No Prayer for the Dying has a top 10 favorite song for me from this band, that being Tail Gunner. Cool. And then, of course, there's the song Public Enema No. 1, which for the past 15 years or so has been my namesake on online gamer tag for Xbox. So breaking the albums down, first off, I have to say that the musicianship here heard on the Black Crowes is next level. Every instrument is represented clearly and masterfully. The guitar playing really is the star here. And then there's Chris Robinson's stellar vocals that add a uniqueness and a unique flavor to the band. I think the Black Crowes are one of those rare bands that is able to straddle the world between rock and the blues. Nothing new there. Many bands have tried this over the years, but few have been able to do it so cleverly and consistently. And I think that's the style would have certainly widened the musical palette for many a listener who would have come in for the rock and then left a full-on convert for the Southern blues rock. So there's a common formula with these bands, and the Black Crowes have a style that is familiar and accessible. They aren't reinventing the wheel, but what they do bring to the table is often imitated but rarely copied so masterfully.
Yeah.
So if you listen carefully, you can hear many of their inspirations shining through. You hear bands such as the Stones, Skinner, Zeppelin, Otis Redding, Humble Pie, and even the Beatles. The Crows found a way to blend all these styles and sounds into something and make it unique and completely theirs, and that's not an easy task to do. The Southern harmony and musical companion is a testament to a band that wanted to follow up their hugely successful debut, Shake Your Moneymaker, with another strong helping of well-written songs, fantastic melodies, and unforgettable hooks. I think this is an amazing album, and just how it escaped my orbit for so many years, actually it's a crying shame. And believe you me, I'm going to remedy that. See what I did? All right.
Done.
All right.
Nicely done.
So standout tracks for me are Sting Me, Remedy, of course, Thorn in My Pride, No Speak, No Slave. Yep. Bad Luck, Blue Eyes, Goodbye.
That was a great song.
Yeah. And the last song on the album, My Morning Song. Then we get to Iron Maiden, No Prayer for the Dying.
Yep.
Now, leading up to the creation of this album, the band would find themselves without their longtime collaborator and songwriter, Adrian Smith, who had left the band after disagreeing with the band's musical direction, and he was soon replaced by former Gillan and Bruce's solo guitar player, Yannick Gers. I think No Prayer for the Dying is a decent album, but not a strong album, nor a brilliant album. Now, over the years, the album has copped a lot of flack for being a bit weak, uninspired, and flat. And when you consider the caliber of the previous 7 albums leading up to this point, it seems deservedly so. And when you realize that this is the first of 4 albums without one of the band's primary songwriters, Adrian Smith, since he joined the band in 1981, prior to the album Killers, replacing Dennis Stratton, then things start to make sense as to why.
And when he came back.
That's right. Well, Smith, like Harris, was responsible for a lot of the songwriting and the album direction that they would go for each album. And I think a direct parallel can be made that this period in the band's history, the decade from 1990 to 1999, they arguably produced their worst albums in their career, all without Adrian Smith writing or playing.
It's fair
Coincidence? I don't think so. Because proof from that brilliance comes from his return with Harold with the album
Brave New World.
Yep.
Correct.
From a fucking jacket,
and you could further say, well, people say, oh, well, Bruce wasn't there. But Bruce was there for No Prayer for the Dying and Fear the Dark.
Yeah, that's right.
Adrian Smith was not. And those 2 albums, you could combine the 2 and make it one album would be brilliant. You're right. Absolutely right. So, but getting back on track, No Prayer for the Dying. I know, everyone's saying
no rhyme for the praying.
It works.
That's right. It is
No prayer for the
it's not terrible.
No Prayer for the Dark.
Yeah, No Prayer for the Dark. That's what it should be.
That's a good one.
Fuck
Actually.
Yeah. Tail Gunner is an old
Feel
album
the Dying.
It's like, I think Tail Gunner is like Aces High. It's similar in theme, not nearly as good, but it's still a cool song.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was original. Like it's a good song, but like
that's
said,
right.
That's a good point. Aces High, I'll take that. You know.
Oh, absolutely. You know, but if I hear it, if it happens to come on in my playlist or something, just randomly, I crank it because I love it. It's a great song. And then, of course, you can't forget how cool Holy Smoke is when it came out. Something completely different, something the band has never done. It's a parody song, really. Yeah. It has enough charm that it was able to make it on the album, get strong video play from all the music channels of the day, and it showed that the band had a really wicked sense of humor, and they weren't afraid to show it. Even if it tackled a divisive topic at the time, corrupt TV evangelists, you know, and the video just is brilliant. And then, of course, you get the song No Prayer for the Dying, the title track. This sounds a lot more like classic Maiden. The song is a bit laid back with a nice melody and then picks up in midway and carries the song through the rest of it until the end. Then you get Public Enemy #1, another good song with a memorable chorus. Now, for me, Fate's Warning and The Assassin, this, to me, is where the wheels start to fall off. Okay. And especially with The Assassin.
It's not just me.
Not just you. The Assassin, a great setup, and then let down by shit chorus. better watch out because I'm the assassin. Over and over again.
That's it. Yeah,
that's so fucking juvenile. It's stupid.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's got
when you're 10, Dave. When you're 10, it's going to be great, but not when you're fucking, in your 40s or 50s. Better watch out.
Cool to this
I'm
day.
the assassin.
34 years later, I still love it.
Any good assassin doesn't have to fucking brag that he's the assassin. Better watch out because I'm the assassin.
Yeah, because they're killing people. They're not singing in a band.
I don't fucking think so. Yeah, assassin, you don't even know he's there. You're just dead. Okay, you don't have to sing about it. Anyway,
you're taking this shit too seriously, man.
I'm just looking at the songs the way they come to me. Look, to me, this is a head scratcher of a song. I really wanted to like it, but I just couldn't make myself. The woeful chorus just no, thank you. So, Run Silent, Run Deep, another cool song with another, I think, memorable chorus. It does stick with you.
I thought that was tired too, personally.
Yeah, there's no question the entire album
song.
is, and Hooks in You. This song sounds like it's trying to reinvent the wheel with a catchy tune, but ultimately it can't, and it isn't. This isn't Maiden at their best.
Yeah. So,
interesting note about this song is that it's the actually only song on the album that was actually co-written by the departed Adrian Smith.
Wow.
It was a leftover. And so I think it's easily the weakest song on the album for me. Maiden trying to sound like a band that isn't Maiden doesn't work. Maiden trying to be hip. Stick to what you do best, lads. This isn't it. Skip. Then you bring your daughter to the slaughter. Now, this song has always been a point of contention for me because while I like it a lot, once again, it's Maiden trying to be commercial and kind of un-Maiden, for lack of a better term. But this is only my opinion, and I think it only half works.
Interesting.
Originally written by Bruce for the solo album Tattooed Millionaire, intended to be used on Nightmare on Elm Street 5, the Dream Child movie, and the soundtrack. So Steve Harrison liked it so much that he asked Bruce to not release it, and then instead to keep it and release it for Maiden. It must have worked because the song has become the band's only #1 hit single on the UK singles chart. So it had to have worked.
It was a big one.
Steve knows a good song when he hears it. And like I said, I like that song. I'm just saying. I just think they're trying to be hip and in with the crowd. And Maiden was never that band. Don't try to do it.
For me, it's one of their better songs. I reckon
it is a good song. It is a good song. And then you get Mother Russia, the song that has a real classic Maiden feel. There's a real Russian feel to it as well. It's got this Russian melody thing going on. And I like this song. That's right. And it's not a long song. It's a fairly short song. It's only 4 or 5 minutes. So, it's not an epic, but it's still well done. And I like this song, and I think it's a strong album closer. So, as everyone should know, you see me wearing Maiden shirts and like that. I love Maiden. I've been to see them, 4 times or whatever. And I'm going to see them again this year. And they're just one of my favorite bands. They always have been.
Yep.
And I think overall, this album is a decent album with a few really strong songs. However, and maybe if it went up against a different album, then maybe it would have fared a little better. But tonight it went up against the wrong album. And I think the Southern Harmony Musical Companion, in my opinion, is a better album. And therefore it gets my vote to move on.
Wow. There we go. Yeah. All right. That's cool.
Cool.
Well, let's split up now because Belle, you're either going to decide it or tie it. So,
where
do you go with this one?
Okay.
No pressure.
No pressure. Look, going into this week, I really had no idea which way I was going to go because I hadn't heard either album.
This is good then.
So it was sort of like a bias kind of familiar. I didn't have that familiar ideas. Yeah. So on one hand, like Iron Maiden, I'm familiar enough to know pretty much what I was going to get. I know what they were going to sound like, although I hadn't heard great things about this. And but since sort of doing this, I've realized that just because it's a Maiden album doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to like it, because last year when we did the concept album battle and I was faced with Seven Sons, which I also hadn't heard, didn't particularly like that. So I knew what I was going to get because that still sounded like Maiden. I just didn't particularly like it.
Yep.
So I wasn't sure that I was even going to like this.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then
that's my favorite fucking Maiden album. Sorry to interrupt, but wow.
I know. It's a lot of people's favorite Maiden album.
A lot of people
I will honestly say if we didn't have that album, you wouldn't have Symphonic Metal and you wouldn't have Nightwish. That's a very important album.
It is a very important album. Yeah.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Look, I'm not denying that you like it. Okay?
Yeah, I know. I'm just pointing out. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It was good.
Spend more time with it. Spend more time with it. Fuck.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I might go back to it. I probably will at some point. Yeah. Then on the other hand, we have the Black Crowes album, and as far as I can remember, I've only heard the one song, like Dave, and that's Hard to Handle, which was actually a cover song.
Yep.
An Otis Redding cover, which I knew that, but I confirmed that today. I sort of hit myself when, I rediscovered that that's who it was that they were covering because I really like Otis Redding. Anyway. So it turns out that I actually, after listening to this Maiden album, I really like it.
Oh, cool.
I do. I really like it. I wasn't sold on my first spin because I was in the car driving and chatting at the time, and I guess I was distracted, so I wasn't really tuned in. I was like, yeah, it's Maiden, like as I expected. It sounds like Maiden. But then when I actually spun it and I was fully engaged with it, and I really liked what I was hearing. It was just enjoyable. It was Maiden doing Maiden, and I liked what I was hearing. And I really liked The Assassin.
Okay, there we go. 2 and 2.
It's such a cool fucking song, and the version on the Live at Donington is fantastic.
I enjoyed it. I didn't find it juvenile at all, but I don't know. Maybe I'll listen to it now and I'll just hear, see Jeff in my head going, so he might have just ruined it for me.
Sorry, that's not my intention.
No, not going to happen.
We'll see. We'll see. No, I liked it enough to sort of actually write it and mention it in my notes. Run Silent, Run Deep, and Hooks in You. I also liked as well, and I'd already heard Bring It to the Slaughter.
Yeah, it's cool.
That a few times,
which is good.
Yeah. So these all sit in the second half, but I like the first half too. And I'm definitely keen to get more familiar with this album. And the solo in Mother Russia is awesome. Fucking great. I love that solo.
Nice pickup.
Very cool solo.
Nice.
All right. So Black Crowes, another new album to me, as I said, and I should run about hearing the one song, so let's skip over that. So look, this is so when that came out, I liked it, but it was very feel good, and this is like feel good music. And possibly at the time that I heard it, I didn't want to feel good. I wanted to feel angry and edgy and listen to angry, edgy music because I was a teenager and, I was raging at the world. So
definitely a thing.
Know that.
I kind of, despite myself, I didn't kind of follow the band or continue listening to them for whatever reason. So anyway, look, when I actually sat down this week and listened to this, I felt my whole mood lift. And it wasn't that bad, but it went from good to great. And really enjoyed.
Well, remember the top of the episode, the highlight of the week? This album had a bit to do with that.
Well, I fully understand that. It really is. You can't be sad with this on. You just, I don't know. It's not like it's a full rock upbeat because there's some sort of mellow stuff in here.
There's some darker stuff in there,
it's still got a major, spin.
It's the vibe.
Like
it's the whole vibe of it.
Yeah. I thought it was good. And that song Remedy, I didn't realize that was a hit, a single. I don't remember that being out. Apparently, it was everywhere, but I don't recall hearing it. But I really liked it. I'm not surprised it was released as a single because
it's had over 42 million spins on Spotify alone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It was big. It was big.
Never heard
I
it
was
before.
right into something else. God,
Wow.
When that video came out, it was being played every week. Yeah.
Possibly Black
Must have
Sabbath's
been on rage
Dehumanizer,
when I went
feeling
for a drink.
doomy and dark. Yeah, that's where I was at.
Wow.
Anyway, look at so another thing that I got with this album was the songs. They're clearly songs. They have structure.
Yep.
But it also, to me, felt like just a bit of an improv jam session. It just kind of had that loose kind of vibe to it.
Was a little spoken part, but when they're talking about the timing they're going to play with and that as well. So that leans into that.
Just the whole, the whole thing. The whole thing just felt so casual and relaxed. Yeah. These songs could have started that way so easily. They all just jump in. And anyway, I just got that vibe from it. And the guitar solos are to die for.
Yeah,
really good. I like them all the way through this. Maybe that guy from Night Laser should listen to this.
Oh. Night Laser catching strays in the middle of Maiden versus Black Crows. Fucking top that.
Sorry, Night Laser. Also, I don't understand that band name. I probably should have raised all that.
It's not a good band name, is it?
No,
but I don't get it. What does it mean?
There's a lot of really shit band names around at the moment.
The only thing I think of was a laser that you shine at a fucking airplane or something, trying to to make it crash. I mean, that's what idiots do. There's idiots out there do that shit. I don't know.
So why would you call your band after?
It's just the times, man. There's really shit band names around the last few years.
Is it maybe like Lasers on a Stay? I don't know. I
don't know. It's a shit
I'm not
name.
going to ask.
And when you Google it, you don't find them. You find every other fucking version of a laser at night.
That's it. Yeah.
It's not a good Google do your research, guys.
Not a good
Pick
Google
name that is unique. Yeah.
No. Oh yeah. I don't think I'll be Googling.
No, don't.
Anyway, look, I can't talk about this album without at least giving a shout out to the keyboard work, the organ, the piano, fabulous keyboard player. That was one of my favorite aspects of this. Obviously, vocals are great and really suited to this. Anyway, I can see why it was voted in, and it's some of, I'm sure this is in some people's hearts from 92, and it stayed with them all this time. I didn't experience it then for my own reasons, but I get it. I get why people love it and hold it dear. But does it beat Maiden? I might go back to that album. I'll definitely go back to Maiden. So for me, that was the clincher. I'm going with Maiden.
There we go.
Cool.
This is interesting.
We're tied.
We are. So Jeff, did Conrad reply to you or not?
He did not, but I would imagine he would not.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
Tell everyone what you said to him, and this is why we know where we're going to go with this.
Well, I didn't. I spoke to him, and he didn't reply. I just thought that I messaged him, and I said, I asked him, Maiden or the Black Crows, right? And then I said, can I guess Maiden? You don't seem to be like a Black Crows fan. You're probably a Maiden fan. And I said, thumbs up or thumbs down. If you give me a thumbs up, that's all I need. And if you any other thing else, any other emoticon, then it's Maiden, or the Black Crows rather. And he didn't reply. He saw it. He saw it.
He left you on red.
Okay.
He left you on red.
Oh my God, Conrad! How hard is it to just go?
Yeah, I know.
Dude,
seriously, come on, motherfucker. Be a bit more organized.
I think hold and press.
On your book
you can do that in your sleep. You can do it in your pocket with the phone.
I think it's going to be a safe bet, though, that we'll go with Iron Maiden for Conrad knowing this case.
Yeah.
What the audience go with?
That boy.
Well, this is where it gets interesting, because if we take Conrad at Iron Maiden, that gives Iron Maiden the win this week, which means it's 1990 gets the win, which we decided last week for us. 1992 was the winner overall, so we were done last week. The audience this time around went about 2/3 to 1 on this, so it wasn't a narrow margin. This was pretty clear cut. 2/3 to 1 went the Black Crows. The audience leaned that way. Yeah, it was pretty clear. It wasn't even a real fair fight, to be honest, was it, Bill? Like in the polling and that, it was not a fair fight. Which makes it kind of remarkable because in that context, the audience have gone with 1992. Well, we went with 1990 in theory, but that balances, everything is tied. So we have 3 albums for 1990 and 5 for 92. The audience have the same thing now, 3 albums for 90, 5 for 92, which means in both cases now, 1992 beat 1990. So in theory, we have a resolution that we're finished. Like that is the end of that particular series. So that makes it really, really interesting to see how this sort of shakes out. So it's
I know week 10 is Dio versus Dream Theater. What's next week? Week 9.
Well, this is where the question becomes, because we don't need to do it. It's if we want to.
Conrad,
well, here's the thing though. Conrad holds it in his hand. If he goes Black Crows, that throws everything out of whack.
Then we go on.
This is where we are. So it's an interesting one. But the thing, in theory, if we move into this, if next week in theory would be Pantera Cowboys from Hell versus Extreme, 3 sides for every story.
Oh, Pantera.
Yeah.
Possibly. The flip side,
can we just do it now? Come on.
My gut would be Pantera.
Yes. Bell.
I would vote for
if I had it's one of my favorite albums between those 2 albums. Yeah, fuck Pantera all day, every day.
Yeah, Cowboys is a seminal album for me. It's going to be hard to beat. All right, so just for shits and giggles, then round 10 as a theory was Lock Up the Wolves from Dio versus Dream Theater, Images and Words. Let's see if there's anyone. I'm going to go Dio. Just for the record, I love that album.
I'm going DT. I'm not even going to go musical wankery, but it's just a more diverse album. It covers everything.
That's the one album I own from that band. So I enjoy Images and Words, but I like Dio more. What about you, Bell and Jeff?
I like Dio more than Dream Theater. Yes, I do. There's only 2 songs that I can even remember, and that's me 3. So Lock Up the Wolves, Always Room for One More, and Evil on Queen Street. Which believe it or not, Evil on Queen Street, there's a story behind that, I know. And that is that, so when he was in Toronto being interviewed by Much Music, it's on Queen Street. And across the street is a sandwich place. And in that sandwich place, they went for lunch. And on the menu is a sub called Evil on Queen Street.
Wow.
And that's where he got the name for the song. It's made after a sandwich.
Cool.
A sandwich.
It sounds like sinister, but it's about a sandwich.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but in that battle, I would have to go Dream Theater. I think it's a better album.
Yeah.
It's a great fucking album.
It's a good album. Anything from you, Belle?
I can't because I haven't heard Images and Words.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
So I can't choose without making.
That's all right.
Without hearing it. Yeah.
Well, it's already 2-1 versus me anyway, so it doesn't matter. But that's where we kind of would have landed, just so everyone knows. Okay, so we're going to put a pin. We're going to put a bow on this one and say we're done with 90 versus 92. It's been 8 weeks. It's usually about kind of be what we call it. So it's funny how it just worked out, though. In different weeks, we got to the same result, exactly the same result between us and the audience. We took a different path, but the same destination was the conclusion, which is the funny thing about it, which is cool. I mean, in the end, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter because whatever Conrad thinks, because for us, we were already
it doesn't matter what Conrad thinks.
Because last week we determined 92 was the winner. In this week, the audience decided 92 was the winner. So either way, both have come to a conclusion, if that makes sense, which makes it now interesting because now, Belle, you and I have to get busy because I'm going to put up a post and get more polling happening because we have to get another 10 albums sorted out. And the theme for the next King of the Riff.
Oh, you have a result. That's exciting.
I have a theme. So the theme, I'm going to call it now. From we put forward 4 ideas in Patreon. Got the Patreon people to vote on it, and it was close. The 4 themes to choose from were soundtracks, Australian releases, 1989, and live albums. Equal 3rd and 4th were Australian releases and soundtracks. Coming in second was 1989, which means the winner is live albums.
Yes.
Live album.
One of Bell's ideas, which is why Bell is so psyched right now.
Live album. Yeah, I like that too.
So favorite live albums. Don't put your votes in now. There'll be a post going up in the next 24 hours or so to get you.
Do we get to nominate? Do we get to nominate?
You can in the comments. Yes, you can in the comments.
Okay, cool. Because like two instantly come to mind.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
I know, but the poll will be for everyone to put their top 3 live albums in, and we'll go from there. Don't do it tonight. Don't do it tonight, people. Just give us a minute.
I'm going to write mine down, though.
If you're not thinking Maiden, Lizzie, you can't be friends.
Anyway, before we get out of here, let's go to some comments because we have comments to go with the battle we just did. So let's go to that now. Guru said crows are like stones on roids, which is fair enough. Craig loves my morning song, so there we go. Guru said this is the new Maiden 2 for me and not good. There we go. Here we go. Michael says, geez, Andrew, again, Black Crows, such a surprise. Pissed myself laughing. Conspiracy. Damn, I know it's not all above board. So there we go. We'll see what happens. Adrian said, my favorite album from the Black Crows is Shaky Moneymaker. Yeah, Adrian said, cool posters when Dave got his prop there, which is good.
Man, there's a bunch over there.
Yep. TJ says Southern Harmony is ridiculously perfect. This is the Crows' greatest album, top to bottom, no filler. One of few albums where I don't skip a track. I can't play on shuffle. It has to be played in order, top to bottom. A true album, like a great book, it needs to be read from front to back. Maiden is my favorite band of all time. Not even they could compete with Southern Harmony.
Wow.
Your album. This was not
comment.
That is well done.
That's a comment.
DJ, respect. That's exactly right.
That's good, man.
Well
done.
He nailed it.
Yeah, I like that.
Craig says Mark Ford was the missing link for Black Crows. The deep cuts are my favorites. My morning song, Hotel Illness, Black Moon Creeping. The album has zero filler. No Prayer is my least favorite Dickinson album. After 7 Carol albums in a row, this was their first misstep, which is where things
was. Yeah, that's right.
Getting more there.
Very cool.
Michael says Maiden recorded
album, but it's like not their best.
Yeah, Maiden recorded at the barn, which is Steve's studio, which think Bruce thought in hindsight was a very bad idea. I tend to agree, actually, that they didn't do well until I got another producer in later on. Guru says
not the worst sounding album. Virtual 11 is the worst.
I know there's worse to come. This is a good album. I said it's a good album, but just it was the start of a slide. Jeff has a point. Maiden was part of a new wave heavy metal. Ergo, a new thing. Crows is a rock and roll knockoff, which is from Guru there, but followed up with, but sticking with Crows, Hotel Illness. So there we go. Craig said, "Oh, I forgot Thorn in My Pride, Killer Song." That's such a good song. TJ says, "No Southern for the Dying" is a mashup. So there we go.
Nice.
Adrian's laughing at Jeff. TJ says Dave Murray has very little writing credits, but damn, when he does, it's gold. Public Enema kicks ass. So there we go.
Indeed.
Edge Crusher says, not a great Maiden album, but better than any of their last 3 albums. Maiden write terrible long songs these days. Black Crows for me. So there we go.
I like Long Maiden with the 3 guitars.
Yeah, it's a different vibe. I get
it's a taste, but yeah, I love it.
I've enjoyed it myself too. So there we go. TJ says Remedy was massive, but you missed it because you were going for a drink, Dave. You were 12. How was that strawberry Big M?
Yeah. There was, like, it wasn't Aldi wine, but there was wine in the fridge, and you can pop straight from the bucket.
Oh God! When you were 12, Dave.
Yeah. Like when you go into high school and you're in year 8, and like before you leave because everyone else is asleep, you're like, oh, you start your day pretty fucking good.
That's pretty much it. I found the church one when I was a kid. Anyway, Vinny says, unfortunately, Conrad couldn't respond, Jeff. I took him out a couple of weeks ago after this my nomination. His demise was honourable. There we go. That is a thing that is well played, Vinny. Well played, Vinny. But on to round 9. It would have been round 9. TJ says Cowboys. Craig says Extreme. Adrian said Cowboys. TJ said Cowboys. And then on to round 10. Michael said Lock Up the Wolves. Craig says 3 sides would win for me, but the final 3 song suite alone, or for that song suite alone. TJ says Cowboys because Dimebag. Michael says
Dimebag.
Print through from analog tape. So there we go. Pantera for me. For Vinny. Craig says Images and Words was a game changer for me. Queensryche started a bit. Dream Theater began my love affair with progressive metal. So there we go. Bash has said Extreme and Dream Theater. We got a lot of different responses here. Adrian says, I saw Black Sabbath with Dio. I bought a Black Sabbath cross necklace at the gig, but ended up giving the necklace to a girl. I bet you regret that now.
Give me my necklace back, you bitch.
Vinny says, I agree, Andrew. Conrad is so 2023. He left on red. Adrian says, live albums, Kiss Alive is a must. Yes, there we go. TJ says, Live After Death. Go down already.
Yeah, Live After Death has to be on the fucking list. And if Finley is Live and Dangerous,
says Evening Jeff. There's someone you know, obviously.
Yeah.
Craig says Dave and his goon bag mental picture at 12 years old. And Rowan says images and words.
Of course, Rowan would have picked Dream Theater.
All right, so we're going to start live albums as a new King of the Riff next week, and that is going to dovetail nicely into a couple of weeks break we're going to take at the end of June to early July, just a couple of weeks off the live streaming side of things. Jeff and I will probably be doing something behind the scenes for Patreon people, but we're going to we always try and take a mid-year break to give everyone a bit of a refresh before we go and hit hard for the rest of the year on the way back. I know it's that thing, but we got to do it. You got to take a break and refresh, otherwise it does.
We go nuts. I get drunk and I talk shit.
Which we have plans for, believe it or not, but stay tuned for
that. Watch Dave get drunk and talk shit.
There will be sessions for that coming up.
Nothing you've ever seen before.
I know, literally.
It could be going bad yet. You ain't seen nothing.
All right, time to do a bin, and then we get out of here. So, Dave, what are you putting in the bin this week?
Oh, fuck. What do I have? I've been very nostalgic and reflective recently because we've been doing 90 and the whole 90s battle, 1992. Discovering music, it was either I liked the band or I didn't. And if I liked the band, I would consume every fucking thing that they released. I had time for that shit back then. And only because bands had 10 albums at the most when you were a kid and at that time. And finding new bands along the way, I don't have time to listen to everything that they have, and just not having time to consume everything that a band that I like releases, because it feels so different to then what it is now, because it was either all or nothing. And that's the type I'm 0 or a fucking 100. And those who watch the show see that I'm either 0 or a fucking 100. It's either yes or no. I like a band, I don't. It's everything or nothing. And there's bands that I touched on and heard 1 or 2 albums. Like Cradle of Filth, I've heard 3 albums. I love this fucking band. They have 13 albums. I need to find time to consume the rest of these fucking albums. And when I discovered Wednesday 13, it was like, holy shit, bang! Every motherfucking album in 2 weeks. In Flames last year. Within 3 weeks. Every fucking album. Dream Theater, when I discovered them. Every fucking album within a few weeks. Just don't have time to do it anymore. And it sucks. Because that's the energy I like to apply to everything. Just not enough time because life gets in the way. So life getting in the way can get in the fucking bin.
Good point. I agree with that one completely. That's a good one. All righty. Doing the rounds, Jeff, have at it.
Yeah, so look, for those of you who long time watching, I think I mentioned last week I bought a car, it's not a brand new car, 2018, but still newer than what I had. I had a 2011 Holden Cruise. I bought that brand new. Anyway, so you think that when you go to the dealer and you're sitting there and you're talking about all the things and you're trying to get the best deal, you think that during those negotiations, they would have said, oh, by the way, we've just looked it up in a system, and this car is actually part of a nationwide fucking recall. But no, they don't mention that. They don't mention that at all. So I dropped my fucking money on the thing, and I've got no problem with the recall, but it should have been brought up. They should have mentioned it in the fucking negotiations, and I probably would have paid less. I would have said, well, look, knock off $500 or something for my trouble. No, don't mention it. So these guys, this particular dealer, they were tight as fish's ass. They just would not I negotiated. I sat there, and eventually the manager came out because the 2 monkeys that were trying to, I was trying to get a deal of it. They couldn't do anything. Finally, they agreed to give me a discount, $150. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, guys. Holy fuck. I'm going to write this one down. This is one for the rule book. Yeah. So $150 off the market price, with my trade in and everything.
Yeah. So
I end up from the list price, the drive away price.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's about $500 less than that, but you got to factor in my trade in, and then that $150. Plus, I also got like a 3-year warranty on it as well. Like I wanted to make sure they were so bound and bent trying to sell me a fucking warranty. And I'm like, okay, explain your warranty. So they told me who it's all through and everything like that. And I said, okay, here's the next question. What's the individual limit for each part that could potentially break? And then they were like, oh, fuck, he knows what he's talking about now. So all of a sudden I get the, like all of a sudden they just expect me to go, yeah, I'll take a warranty and that's it. What they don't tell you is that each part has a cash value limit. And so if your drivetrain goes, which is about 10 grand, they'll only cover 5 of that 1,000. You got to pay the other 5 out of your pocket, even though it's under warranty. So anyway, long fucking story short, these guys, I found them underhanded, eager to get my money. Now they've got my money. I still don't have a car. I've had to rent a fucking car because they've got my trade in. Plus, the other car that I bought is not going to be ready until maybe Saturday. So, of course, I'm working in the city, and close to the city, and I've got to get there. I'm not doing public transport again. Fuck that. I had enough of that shit. So I thought, well, I'm going to rent a car. So, Belle, I don't know what to say. This is fucking. I want to murder somebody. But I'm angry. Because I should have had a car. I shouldn't have had to rent a fucking car.
They should pay for your rental, man. Seriously.
You'd think they would, but
I sound like they would.
Yeah, I should just make a phone call to the ACCC.
Yeah.
Maybe they'd be, if I let them know that I'm going to let the ACCC know, maybe they'll pitch in for that. I don't think so. But anyway, that's enough for me. I have. Next.
Breathe, Jeff. Just
feel better?
Breathe.
I feel better.
Getting it out?
Yeah.
Feel better.
Yep.
I'm breathing. That live album's going to be good. I can't wait.
All right, Bill.
So happy about that. I'm excited. Mine is awful. Last night I had to. Well, yesterday evening, it gets dark like really early here. So yesterday afternoon, pretty much, I had to go out, and I ran over a wallaby.
Oh
and
no!
And it really upsets me. It really upsets me.
There's nothing you can do about it though.
No, it was. I was driving along. It was like a 90 zone, and I tend to, when it's dark, and they're fucking everywhere. I'll back off a bit, so I won't be doing 90. It's the only time when I just go slower than what I need to. And it was driving along, and it was there, and I went just like right in front of me, bang.
They do it.
Fuck! I was so upset. I was really upset. So
yeah, it's sad.
That's my bin. But then this morning, I took Ellis to the bus stop, and I came back, and when I was driving out of the house, like we live up a dirt road, country road, and there's not many cars around, but there are a few houses. And I noticed there was a car that was sort of stopped in the middle of the road as I was sort of slowly approaching. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Just go. And they did. And so they went off, and I went. And anyway, on the way back, I noticed it was a wallaby on the side of the road, but it was sort of half sitting up. And I like, oh, that must have been what they were looking at. So I sort of pulled up, wound my window down, and I was talking to it. I'm like, are you okay? And and I sort of had a look. It didn't answer back, by the way. Said nothing.
That could have been a show all its own right there.
Wow. You wouldn't be doing this if that
would have been in the bin.
What did you have for breakfast?
That's right.
Yeah.
Just coffee. Anyway, so I thought, and I saw it seemed okay, except its leg there was something wrong with its leg. It sort of, I must have been scaring it a little because it tried to move away, but it couldn't. So I'm like, all right, drove home. It wasn't too far. It was only like a minute. And then I called the wildlife people and left a message. I just got a voicemail, and then they called me back about an hour later and said, "Oh, thanks for calling. Some people called about 10 minutes before you, and they said that they were going to go down and pick it up and take it to the vet." I'm like, "Oh, thank God," because I'm on my own. I wouldn't be able to manage a wallaby. So the best I could do was call them. So hopefully, whatever happens to it, it's
Well, maybe it's your karma balancing out.
Better than lying there suffering. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've sort of felt, because I felt fucking awful for hitting one, but then hopefully
fingers
karma balances out.
Yeah. So
you did what you did. That's good. Yeah.
What I could. That's my bin.
Cool. All right. My bin, this is gonna be funny. I think anyway, is I don't know about where you guys are in particular, Belle. You might say the same thing that I said, but people have this thing where they like to have service dogs, quote unquote, walk with them fucking absolutely everywhere. And you can tell the legit ones, like the German Shepherds with the full-blown vest, all that kind of stuff. What I'm putting in the bin is these half-wits that go and order a fucking Wish version of the fucking service dog vest and just take their fucking dog everywhere. Okay? I guarantee you, no fucking little British bulldog looking little thing that's fully intact with its nutsack hanging out the back is a service dog just because you put a fucking vest on it. You don't have intact dogs as service dogs, okay? No. And the problem is, right, that you fuckers are going to ruin it for the people that actually have PTSD and other things and need their fucking support dog because you want to have your fucking dog everywhere. I want to have my dog fucking everywhere too, but I can't do that because a 70 fucking kilo Great Dane losing his mind is not a good thing, okay?
Yeah,
so and you have where I can, where I'm allowed to take him, all that kind of stuff. But just because you got a little dog and you stick a little fucking vest on it doesn't make it a service dog. Fuck off, okay? It's ridiculous. It looks fucking stupid to begin with. But you can just tell the dog has no training, like I said, it's intact, and it's just, what the fuck are you doing here? Because it's going to take one of you, just one of you, to fuck it up. The second one of your dogs that you can't control at all is it takes a nip at another dog or a kid or whatever else. It'll just be a fucking blanket ban for the people that actually do need the dogs. And fuck up for the rest.
Yes.
Don't do it, you fucking selfish prick. Okay, you don't need to do it. You can manage without. Okay. I know we love to. I love taking my dog wherever the fuck I can, but I don't because it's called being a responsible owner.
Yeah,
you can't control your dog. Don't fucking do it. And the ones I see, I know for a fact it's not going to be long before it goes fucking wrong. So don't do it, you fucking morons. You'll fuck it up for the people that actually need it. So fake service dogs. I didn't think it'd ever be a thing, but it is where I am. It can go in the fucking bin. Being in a tourist town, you see fucking everything. So that's a new one. I didn't expect to see that until the last few weeks. I'm like, this is a thing. And you notice it more and more. It's like, why are you walking that thing into Hungry Jack's? Why are you walking that thing through fucking Coles? You don't need to. Just leave it in the car for fucking 10 minutes. If you can't do that, there's something wrong with you, not the dog. Fucking idiots.
Agree.
Just because you call it your emotional support beast doesn't actually make it so. Okay, it's not the reality. Fucking idiot. Anyway, that's my rant for this week. That's my bin. What have I got in the comments here to go through before we get out of here? What do we got here? More albums here. Craig says, Live After Death, Stranger Than Night. We want more done. There we go. TJ says, good show, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for your kind words. Vinny says, my bin is my head shaver died the other day, mid-shave. I had to use as it looked like an t-shirt I'd given up. Oh, wow.
Is your partner Will Smith?
Oh, here we go. Keep your name out my mouth. Anyway, TJ says,
talking about Vinny fucking bitch.
We love Cicadastone. Craig says, great show, peeps. Thank you for the kind words. TJ says, you ran over a wallaby. Fuck it. Rugby sucks anyway. Well, there we go. Wow. Vinny says, quick, another bin. Now that I'm single, I took a sneak peek at Tinder. Goodness me, there are some guppies on there. I'm fucking Fabio compared to what's on offer. Well, take away from dating apps.
You're Fabio. Why are you looking at dudes, dude?
No, you didn't say grinder.
Hey, dude, don't call me dude. Lou, first time Lou on YouTube has gone, I ate 7 Adderall and can't feel my face, fellas. Well done. Have a great day with that.
Lou on YouTube. There's a song there.
Lou Sassol. Michael said, from a security perspective, a care dog in Victoria is verified if the owner has the correct card to show. No card, dog gone if in place. To show no card, dog gone in place if dog's not allowed. Yeah, I'm not going to go harassing people, obviously, but you can tell, like, they just go on and get the vest and they think no one's going to ask a question. It's going to take one person to ask a question. You watch them become a Karen in fucking 3 seconds flat.
Can I speak to the manager?
Yeah, I know. Bash says, are live albums excessively overdubbed in the studio qualified?
Live too.
Well, yeah, you're kissing this equation. Look, it doesn't matter because we're going to ask the question of the audience and we'll just see whatever gets up. I'm not going to make any...
If it has to come down to live up to death and fucking live and dangerous.
If it's called a live album, it'll pass. If we start,
do you really want that? Do you want that, Dave? Do you want to make that decision in the end?
I really don't, but they're the two best ones that I can think of off the top of my head.
I can think of another.
Even if that battle doesn't happen, I'm going to personally think about that for the next week. I'm going to
hurt yourself in the process.
Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, I'm going to because I like that pain.
Listen to Cradle of Filth instead. Start with their discography. Go.
Yeah, I'm 3 albums in. 3 albums in.
Yeah. TJ says, sleep well all, lullaby time, children of the damned. Well, that is a good point there, and that's probably a good way to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you've had a great time tonight. We've had a lot of fun doing this one. Ran a touch long, but we just get carried away sometimes, don't we, Dave?
Yeah.
I'm relatively sober compared to last week.
Well, to be fair, you've done well. I'm just stirring because I can. Now, make sure you check us out on television.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
Right now. You're not.
Yeah, that's the best example of that right now. But anyway, check us out on television, 10:30 p.m. Thursday nights, Channel 44 Adelaide, 10:30 p.m. Saturday nights, Channel 31 Melbourne, both local time. You can check it out online at the ctvplus.org.au or also on the CTV Plus with the plus sign app. We'll have more coming up. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the usual stuff that everyone gets you to do. Find us on your preferred social platform. We're on pretty much all of them. So find us there. Give us a follow, a like. Stay up to date with everything because we've got the polls coming up, especially for the live album, which is obviously going to be a very popular topic, I think, over the next couple of days. That'll be coming out. So we'll get that poll done because we need to get it all counted and done by sort of Sunday night so we can have the listening prepped by Monday morning kind of a thing. Join our Patreon page. If you really would, that'd be greatly appreciated. For $2 a month, so 50 cents a week, you can jump in, get involved in the voting that makes our top 10 Hot Rocks playlist every week, which in turn forms the songs that we do on the song.
I really want to we're talking official live album releases, not bootlegs, yeah?
Yes, official. It has to be official.
It can't be.
Good to clarify.
Even if it's really well known and not been officially released. So Guns N' Roses live at the Ritz.
Can't be included.
No, can't be included. Fair call, because everyone knows it, everyone loves it.
It has never been officially released. It can't just be whatever. It has to be
officially released.
Yes, official release. Must be an official release.
Cool.
Yeah. Good point, Dave. Glad that got brought up. But yes, official. I'll make sure I put that into the post. It has to be an official live release.
Officially released.
Yeah. I think that's about it, actually, at the end of the day. So we're pretty much done dust. We're back again, same time and place, next week with another live stream as well. We're going to go through, obviously, some live albums. We're going to start our Led Zeppelin album dives and a whole lot more as usual. But like I was saying, jump into Patreon if you can. There's even a free tier just to start to date with stuff that's going on for you. Just sign up there as well. But yeah, just look it up. And then get involved in what becomes our Hot Rocks playlist, which in turn becomes our songs of the week, which we allocate to everyone as we go through things. But that'll do us for now. On behalf of us all here at the show, thank you again for tuning in. We look forward to your company again very, very soon. Good to see some new faces in here as well as all the regulars. We love seeing all of you here every single week. So whether you're tuning in now,
bring your friends, your friends.
Tell everyone about us. Hopefully, you can get more people here. We love having the interaction. Obviously, it's part of the show.
Absolutely.
More is merrier. Bigger is better. Like Jimmy Mulstein says about his guitar solos, more notes is better.
More is more. But that's basically where we're at. So thank you to Dave beside me and to Jeff and Bell on the bottom half of the screen. Thank you, to you guys for jumping in for yet another weekly live stream. For some final comments here before we get out, Nicole has gone, thanks all and good night. Thank you to you too. Michael says, good night. Time to turn the lights and play a game of Night Lasers. So there we go. And, one more in there. Bash says, good night all. On that note, it is time to get out of here. So thank you all so much. We'll see you all again very soon. Until next time, I'm Andrew, and you know what to do. As always, drink up.
Drink like I do. Drink. Oh.
And rock on, folks. See you soon.